It's time. Finally, a show for you. A once-a-week extravaganza, giving you the weekend's movies, the week's cons and entertainment events, what is worth watching on television for the week, the weekly comic book, novel, game, and collectible releases, as well as entertainment news and information. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture. It's Pop Culture Kaboom with your host, Jimmy Jones.
That's right, Chewy. Welcome, everybody listening locally in Carson City, Reno, Northern Nevada on KNVC 95.1
And who says we don't get the celebrities
Yes,
in?
we do. And online at www.knvc.org, nationwide and in over 26 countries. And it wasn't, what's his name?
Peter Mayhew?
Yeah, it wasn't him because, A, he passed away, and B, because he would be on strike right now, so he wouldn't be able to be in here as Chewbacca anyway. So
That is very true.
So, regardless, Mr. Spencer Stoner, Mr. Rob Nault, and I, Jimmy Jones, are here to give you everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Oh, yeah, and Chewy is here, too. Yeah, I almost forgot him. I don't want to get my arms pulled off. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Whether you consider Sunday the end of your week or the beginning of it, go into Monday, the best informed person you know, as we provide you with the latest news, information, and releases from television, comic books, movies, novels, cons and events, toys and collectibles, and games. The Pop Culture Kaboom radio show is also your place on the radio dial for you to talk about your favorite fandoms. This week, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo of Filippo's Horrible Reviews will be joining us to go over the movies set to release this coming week. Our guests this evening, yes, I did say it is a plural, it's guests. First up will be owner and operator of Boykins Cosplay and the president and co-founder of Cosplay for Kindness, Brandon Boykins. We will be talking with Brandon Boykins about all the activities Cosplay for Kindness is involved in throughout Northern Nevada, the upcoming events they will be attending, and how you can join Cosplay for Kindness. And the upcoming Cosplay for Kindness fundraiser at the Sparks, Nevada Coffee and Comics location this Saturday, July 29th, to help Cosplay for Kindness obtain their 501(c) nonprofit classification. Also in the show, we will be talking with co-founder and executive director of the Cordillera International Film Festival. I almost had my first mess up with that name, so keep track of that one. It's a drinking game. Every time I mess it up, you gotta take a drink. Yeah. You could.
No, I just really...
But I'd want you to drive home at the end of the
That's
show.
why I said, but we can't play.
Yeah, I just pray that Cthulhu doesn't show up.
Yeah, when we get to the cons and events. That's where there's a couple highlighted on there for you. I did send that to you, right?
I don't think so, actually.
Man. Okay. You're going to be reading off my screen. Luckily, they're still highlighted.
Indeed.
All right. We'll be talking with Cordillera International Film Festival and film director Emily Skye-Golden. The Cordillera International Film Festival is one of the top 100 reviewed film festivals in the world, according to Film Freeway, and has been voted one of the 10 top 25 coolest film festivals in the world, according to Movie Maker magazine, and it's right here in Northern Nevada. We'll be talking with Emily Skye-Golden to provide you with all the information you will need for the Cordillera International Film Festival's 150-plus films, the all-star panels, the red carpet events, and the parties happening around the Reno area July 27th through July 31st. All of this and your comments and thoughts on the 7 pillars of pop culture entertainment, your favorite fandoms, and everything discussed on the show tonight. To add your voice, you can call 775-515-4141 anytime during the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show, or anytime during the show. You can also send me a DM through the Pop Culture Kaboom Facebook page. It will be read on the air and responded to. Just bear in mind, and unless it is something inflammatory or just something that cannot be read on FCC-regulated radio, always keep that in mind. But if that's
do we have any?
What?
Emails this week?
Yes, we do.
Yay!
You are always welcome to call, or if you're too shy for the phones, you can send that DM through the Facebook page, or if you don't have time to comment during the show but would still like to say something, you can reach us 24/7 by sending us an email with your questions, comments, or concerns to popculturekaboom@gmail.com. You're welcome, and just follow these simple instructions. Put
Please
in the
follow
subject
these simple
line,
instructions.
question, comment, concern, or my fandom in the subject line. In the body of the email, please add your first name. I will not read email addresses on the air, the city, state, or country that you live in. Then fire away with what's on your mind. I respond to each and every email. If you have a specific question for Spencer or Rob, I will forward the email to them to respond back to you. Bear in mind, emails are read on the air unless you specify for it not to be, or you can't follow those simple instructions on how to send an email. And there it is. All right, first up, Mike in Orlando, Florida. Is the San Diego Comic-Con dying?
It's been kind of dying for years.
I don't know. I think it's going now. They were talking that this year it's going back to its roots. So
Which it needed to do.
I think so. I think it's gotten way out of proportion.
Yeah.
You can't, as a normal fan, you can't really attend unless you're like super like fan. I guess. I mean, I've never been able to get tickets.
Or
Do you mean super fan or rich?
or your grandparents will you their
right?
tickets
That's what I
to
mean.
it.
Like it's
There's
like
a
it's
5-year
impossible.
waiting list.
Yeah. No.
For
Exactly.
stuff like that. So for that particular con, I don't think it's dying per se. I think I'm kind of in agreement with Rob that it needs to go back more to its roots of being a Comic-Con instead of a showcase for the movie studios. Because that's all Hall H has turned into.
And it's this year it's big with that because there's no celebrities. Like I just was seeing like a whole Jurassic Park experience that you go through and you can take pictures with like everything. The scene with the Dilophosaurus and everything.
I'm glad you
The
tried to pronounce that.
Dilophosaurus?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Dinosaurs are
dinosaur
always
names I
tricky.
could never get. Oh,
Dinosaurs are always
that's what I would have just. That dinosaur with 4 legs and a tail. Yeah, that one.
But no, they have this scene with the toilet and the T-Rex. You know, yeah. So, I mean, like that stuff's like kind of cool, but it's like that's not comics. That's movies. That's
Yeah, see, and if they went back to, I know that there's been this. We're not going to be able to get to all of this information, but there was a lot of stuff out, regarding toys, which is fine. Toys and comic book news as well. The Punisher thing was actually revealed this week that I brought up last week. So, just all kinds of stuff that actually is more pertained to a Comic-Con. Games are also part of a Comic-Con too. There was some game information too. I think the coolest thing right now is Hasbro Labs has announced that they're doing a ghost ship from Rebels.
Oh,
Ahsoka.
nice.
Okay.
So it's actually going to be a ship, kind of like the Millennium Falcon or any of the.
Yeah. The Rebels in the show it's actually called the Ghost.
Yes,
Yeah.
the Ghost
So, yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
The ship called Ghost. How about that?
Yeah, because when you said ghost ship at first, I'm like, what ghost ship? I mean,
At first, I was
there's
thinking
so many
of the movie
different
Ghost
haunted-
Ship. I'm going, well, that's kind of the cool thing they're getting in on, like the horror.
Yeah, but then you said
put
Star
all the
Wars.
figures on the top, and you have a line that comes
I know,
across and
right?
decapitates them all. Yeah,
They all come in half. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you said Star Wars, that got my nerd cackles up. I'm like, ooh.
yeah. So, they just announced it today, actually.
Is
that
it
they're
going to come out when Ahsoka comes out, or
Oh no, this is one of those things where they're going to do the whole funding thing, and then you can
we'll see it in like 3 years?
different tier. Yeah, basically, yeah. But it's going to be really cool. It looks cool. I saw the pictures of it already. So.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll see it for Ahsoka season 2 in 3 years.
Yes, basically, yeah. What else has come out? A bunch of comic book announcements. Todd McFarlane announced that he's going to be doing 5 more Spawn comic books. So that was really, so a lot of stuff can come out of this. It doesn't have to be Hollywood centric. So
Ms. Marvel is now going to be a mutant. She's not going to be Inhuman anymore in comic form either.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I thought they killed her in Spider-Man.
And they're rebooting her as a mutant.
Oh, well, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's Marvel. They'll
They're
they get
trying
better.
to kill off all the Inhuman.
Let's retcon it.
Yeah, but they're trying to kill off all the Inhuman. That was so bad. That
That is pretty bad and pretty sad too at the
Yeah.
same time. I don't think it's dying. I just think it needs to get back to where it's not Hollywood centric.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I was trying to say. Is that the Hollywood portion should die off. Let the tumor rot.
Yeah. What do you say,
well,
Chewie?
they have their own things too.
Yeah. What do you say, Chewie? I guess
Like Disney has the D23 convention every year. They announce they do their, stick with that. Universal, do something with your pass holders for all your Universal.
I just think it needs to be more
movies,
balanced. 50, 25% this, 25%
There you
that,
go.
25% that.
Yeah.
Get it all, and that way everything's covered. Because there's a lot of stuff that gets missed if everybody's just waiting around to hear from whatever director has to say
Right.
about whatever
Right.
movie. I mean,
or waiting for the next preview. Or,
right. I mean, Marvel doing their little timelines for their movies. Yeah, that should be safe for D23. I mean,
yeah.
not for the San Diego Comic-Con.
Especially when they move it all around 15 million times for the 18th time.
And for everybody who's hopefully associated with any of these entities, spread it out to other Comic-Cons.
There you go.
Yeah.
And smaller Comic-Cons would love to have a presence from, say, an IDW Publishing or Marvel or DC. So spread it out. I mean, find some places that are willing to and be an ambassador for your brand, and let them set up shop at their local Comic-Con under your name. And
there you go.
So
like a franchise.
Yeah. And if you decide to do that, I get 5%. It'll help your sales because, I think a lot of the comic book companies now, I mean, the artists and the writers, they do their part by going to Comic-Cons.
Yes.
But it's got to be more on the companies themselves, because it seems like the companies like DC and Marvel are segregating themselves out and putting themselves out of reach of the people who actually read their comics.
Even with that
maybe
model,
because they don't want to hear how bad they're doing, but I don't know. But
even with that model, they don't, you don't get to see all the writers. Sometimes they don't even go past like their hometown conventions, you know? So a lot of times, even though they're putting them out there, you got to hit these little small guys in order to see the ones that you want to see.
Yeah, which is fine depending on the con you go to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they have I don't want to sound like I'm tooting their horn all the time, but that was the cool thing about Colossus Girl Entertainment and their Forever Pass and being able to go to every single one of their cons.
Right? Yeah, no, exactly. In the area, you're like, so and so's not going to be at this one, but I wanted to see him. Oh, he's going to be over there. Oh, I bought my pass. I don't have to worry about paying again.
Yeah.
I like season passes.
Speaking of it, Judith from Sparks, Nevada. I hope that answers your question, Mike. Judith from Sparks, Nevada. Any word on if and when the Silver Age Comic-Con will return? Colossus Girl Entertainment has no date as of yet, but last year they were the 2022 Silver Age Comic-Con was on June 11th. And they didn't announce the date for the 2023 Silver Age Comic-Con until August of 2022. So give them a little time.
Yeah, and I didn't hear anybody humming or hawing going, maybe not. No, it sounds like it's pretty definite it's going to happen.
I was going to say, it seemed like it was more successful this year than last year.
It grew.
Yeah.
So,
it's been
from what I understand, so it just seems to me like, it would be a wise investment for them.
Yeah, I think the only question is, are they going to try to do one day again, or are they going to expand it to two?
I said, yeah, exactly.
I would expand it to 2.
From what Dave was saying, Dave Hallworth, they want to expand to 2 days. But then again, it depends on Nevada's taxation board, because I guess they were 2 years now in a row they were kind of being really.
How's the taxation board involved?
Because you got a bunch of people selling stuff.
Yeah, vendors have to fill out their own tax forms and everything.
Yeah. So and the first year, they literally went from table to table, and it just drove people away.
Wow.
There's like. You'd have a small, person who usually sells their stuff on Etsy or whatever, and they get a booth at a Comic-Con, and all of a sudden, the taxation board's in their face, and people don't want to go around when, somebody's being hammered by the man.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah. And plus, some of these people are like, well, I didn't know I was supposed to bring this stuff, so they had to pack up and leave, and all this other stuff. Eric's just I guess Eric's laughing out loud, so I guess he's been on the ground rolling around after the Chewbacca comment.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what's he's laughing about?
You want to say hi to Eric Chewbacca? That don't fit too well. So give them a little bit longer. They will be announcing, and of course, or if you want, just follow the Pop Culture Boom newsfeed when they post about it. I will be posting about it on the Facebook, so there you go. So if you had any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you want to email, feel free. All right, let's get to the Phoenix question of the week, and it is the Phoenix question of the week. What was your favorite toy growing up, and do you regret not having it, or you regret how much it would be worth today? He says hi to Chewie. Huh? Hold on. I think there's a response here.
Yeah, you said it, Chewie.
Yeah, that sounded kind of disgruntling. So let's start with Spencer. What was your favorite toy growing up, and do you regret how much it would be worth today?
Well, I loved my Masters of the Universe toys. Those things were awesome. I mean, those things could take a beating, and I loved how the original ones had the squishy heads with the hard plastic bodies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but they were just so much fun.
Man
to
of
play
War,
with.
you twisted his head to get his 3 faces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Triclops, yeah.
Yeah, Triclops. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
and Manny Faces, just like you had the button that you press it and it went and spun around.
Was it just me, or did you really hammer that button and make it do like The Exorcist in there?
Exactly.
They had the added touch to, Gringer had the velvet fur. But it was plastic with the velvet.
You touched it too much. It was like touching a tarantula. It all came off,
Yeah.
So,
those toys were awesome. And I don't regret not having them because it was just so much fun at the moment. And it's like with the old Star Wars.
Well, do you
Star
regret
Wars
not having them now? And how much are they worth?
No, because they definitely served their purpose in the day. And when they left me, it was typically in a very climactic way.
Oh, yeah. We used to have a lot of G.I. Joes. They weren't my favorite toy, but boy, those things went great with M80s and BB guns.
We always blew up G.I. Joes.
I know.
I don't know.
It was war, man.
But I was looking at prices like $3,000 to $1,000 on some of these old figures. It's so tempting, but no, I don't regret any moment of abuse of the toys I played with.
Eric in Whittier, California says he had the $6 million man playset.
Oof.
Oh, man. I remember that one. That one was great, too. Rob, how about you?
Well, my brother had the He-Man stuff. I had the Star Wars. I mean, I had the whole thing. At one point, I actually had all the dark side ships fighting the light side ships hanging from my ceiling.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
You must have been rich.
No, but it was like basically the only present I would get every year. So, I was a December Christmas baby. So
so you got the Christmas / birthday present.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Except for my parents, but usually the money was good. So it was especially back then to buy those things because nobody supported that back then.
No, they didn't.
But I actually still have all mine. So they've all not in boxes. I think the only thing I have in a box still is my Emperor Palpatine that you had to send away for. And wait for him to come by mail.
That is going back.
I had the Han Solo. Remember when
in Carbonite?
with the removable stormtrooper helmet?
Oh, okay.
Remember that one? Yeah, I had that one. You had to eat all the cereal to send off for it, and it was horrible cereal too.
Right.
They never put those offers on the good cereal. I can tell you that.
No, mine that was easy because it was the counter one, so you had to collect all the coins. And then you had to mail the coins in. So you had to buy so many. Basically, it was, basically like what they have now, like at Starbucks, buy 10, get one free,
okay. Yeah, the one I got, you had to clip off the little things off of the
I remember.
box tops or whatever.
Yep.
Mine was the Mega Bug Gladiators. You guys don't remember that one, do you?
That sounds vaguely familiar, but no.
I honestly don't.
All right. Well, I'm glad I cut out the whole thing there about them. Mega Bug Gladiators Combat Machine of the Future. There were 3 vehicles: Mega Spider, Scorpion Megabug, and Dragonfly Megabug. Megabug Gladiators were a toy line released by Kenner in 1979, described as combat vehicles of the future, half insect, half machine. It's probably fair to say this short-lived toy line was ahead of its time. The concept was fairly simple: insect vehicles, basically a cross between Transformers and Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. But they came out a few years before either were created. So that was really cool. I'm going to pull up a picture just to show you guys.
I was going to say, I might know what it is if I see it.
Yeah, with the description, it's like I was getting less and less familiar with it with every word you were saying.
And we had all 3 because I remember those things. And I had Mega Spider, and it tells you how far back my goth roots go. I would actually, because we had bunk beds for me and my little brother here, and I took the bottom bunk for some reason, but I think it was because Mega Spider, I don't know what the back end of a spider's called.
You got me. The back end of a spider.
Well, let's call it the abdomen for now.
Well, because that's where the legs are. Is the thorax?
Thorax.
Okay.
Thorax, yeah.
had a grappling hook, kind of like how spiders shoot webs out. It had a grappling hook, and I would hang it so that it was, when I went to bed, it was hanging right there in front of me.
Oh,
so
cool.
I thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, these. Let me see if I can pull up a picture here. Yep, there they are. So that is Mega Scorpion. And my little brother had Mega Scorpion.
Oh, it had a wrecking ball at the end of its tail.
Actually, and it was a pretty cool little like mace. And you push a button on the top of it, and the tail would actually curl up.
Cool.
So that it would like flip the mace thing around.
Oh yeah, it's something you couldn't do nowadays.
No, well, you probably could,
But it would have to be like a foam
be-
ball or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'd have to change the.
And here's Mega Spider, kind of. It's still this one's still in the box.
Looks like an ant.
Fair enough.
Still pretty
was
darn
bigger.
good.
Only because, like, you know what I mean. Back then, things were very poorly like designed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't the greatest design at all. But and then they had the Dragonfly. I think because it was me and my two brothers, one older, one
Right,
younger.
yeah.
My little brother, I got the Scorpion, I got the Spider, and my older brother, I believe he got the Dragonfly. He hated it, so we ended up with it. But right now, yes, I do regret it because I thought they were really cool. It was a short-lived toy line. I wish it would have. That kind of got really good, gotten cool with other like insects and stuff. Can you
Right.
imagine like a rhinoceros beetle that looked like a vehicle?
Stink bug.
Ew, I don't want a stink bug.
But you think about it,
I want a
like,
stink
like
bug.
you remember you had the slime things and stuff like that. You could totally like do
Yeah.
something with
Oh,
the
yeah.
stink
Oh,
bug.
and
you
like-
know?
And like Stinkor in the Masters of the Universe line that actually made it so like they had scratch and sniff stuff that was just terrible.
Oh. Yeah, just terrible. But anyway, we're late.
We are
Way
late.
late.
I'm sorry, we got way caught up.
We're going to take this hard break like now. So we'll be right back with more Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. What is your favorite toy? Please let us know, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. And we are back. And just to finish off the last segment, we were talking about the toys we grew up with. You can call in if you have any that you remember. 775-515-4141. In regards to finishing off about talking about the Megabug Gladiators, mainly the reason why I probably don't have mine still to this day is because my older brother, I'm not kidding about this. I'm going to throw him under the bus right now. He deserves it. He took my Mega Spider and my little brother's Mega Scorpion and took them to school and sold them.
Sold them?
He sold them
Wow.
to line his own pockets. We found out about it, quite some time later. Very upsetting. To this day. Grr.
Yeah, my only horror story is that I had a My Buddy doll, and I accidentally watched Child's Play as a child and stuffed him in the deepest, darkest corner of my closet after that.
All right, so let's get into the big story of the week, and it is the WGA strike is now officially in its 82nd day, and the SAG-AFTRA strike is in its 10th day. There has been a lot of confusion around actor guests in regards to cons and events, who can still be at them, and what are the restrictions if they are. Luckily for those out there who are con and fan expo organizers, event coordinators, and locations that have actor guest appearances, i.e. comic book stores, coffee shops, etc., that listen to this here radio show, I do have some ground rules that have come out, and a shout out to Rose City Comic Con for taking the time to put this together and for also sharing it. And here it is. Number 1, autographs. Guests who are members of SAG-AFTRA cannot provide anything to sign which depicts them as a character from their struck work. Meaning only generic headshots will be provided at their autograph table. However, if you bring a photo or item from a struck production, it is okay for them to sign. Note, in solidarity, actors, actresses reserve the right to decline to sign any items from struck work.
Right, that makes sense.
Also, be respectful. If you go up to somebody and with a Funko doll and ask them to sign it, and they say no because no, respect that. Don't get mad. I mean,
because the strike won't last forever, and you'll likely get another chance to get it autographed.
Well, not
someday.
only that. I mean, we are talking about a union strike. It is their livelihood.
Right.
Yeah,
so be respectful of the fact that they have certain obligations as union members that they have to follow. So I'm just saying, be respectful if they do decline for anything like that. Now, this one might need a little bit more clarification. I got to try and find some information on it. And number 2 is photo ops. Guests who are members of SAG-AFTRA can take photos with fans. However, it doesn't say if they can decline taking a photo with you if you are cosplaying as one of the characters from a struck production. So I don't know how that plays out. Like I said, I got to dig deeper and see if I can find any information on that. This is just what the Rose City Comic Con has put out. So that is something that has to be looked into.
I would
more.
be on the safe side and say that if they say no, then respect it.
Yeah, just like with the headshots, I'd say it's probably somewhere along the same
just be
lines.
respect. Well, or the Funko Pop.
Exactly.
Number 3, panels. Guests who are members of SAG-AFTRA can participate in panels and Q&As. However, they are not permitted to discuss struck projects.
Right.
General topics are fine, such as questions about their process, why they wanted to be an actor, what they dislike about working in the industry, their private work or charities, etc. Any fans who ask about the actor's projects will have their question politely declined.
Makes sense.
Yep. So do some research on the person. At some point in time, they did some independent film work.
Oh, yeah.
And you can ask them about that.
Well, not only that, but don't forget, too, if they did anything with the
Broadway.
UK.
Yeah.
Or Broadway, because those are not SAG-AFTRA,
Yep. So do a little research, and they would actually appreciate somebody who goes and digs deep and asks them these questions from.
When you were 17.
I didn't do porn. If you still need further guidelines or more information about members of SAG-AFTRA, this is for any con organizer, etc., that is listening. Appearing at conventions and fan expos, please visit www.sagaftrastrike.org, all one word, /cons-appearances-FAQs. All right. And just something a little disturbing that has come up out of all of this and that has required clarification from a number of sources is the cosplaying while also, at a con, an event. And here is someone named Sarah McGonagall. I assume that's how it's pronounced. McGonagall. McGonagall.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
Right. Important for any content creators and influencers, SAG is asking that you do not, in big, bold capitals, cosplay any movie or TV characters from current, in big, bold capitals, or past, current, big, bold capitals, productions that would promote the studios that are currently being struck. Doing so will be considered crossing the picket line.
Who is this person?
I have no idea who this person is,
and that's why we can ignore them.
But the SAG-AFTRA strike further clarification for content creators. Now, I think the terminology here is pretty specific. So we are asking folks not to do cosplay if it would promote struck productions. Yes, you can promote comics, books, and games, as this is not struck work. That being said, performers are being asked to refrain from promoting struck work, including past productions that would have been struck if produced today. So obviously this Sarah person took that completely out of context. Other people are taking it way out of context and basically saying,
they're saying not to cosplay at all.
Yeah, period. If it's anything from, say, Disney or Marvel or DC or etc., Aliens or whatever, do not cosplay at all, or you're a scab, and we'll call you out for it. And
that's not true at all.
That is not true, and that is just wrong on face value.
Yes.
For a number of reasons. First off, people have freedom of choice. If you choose to cosplay, it is a hobby.
Yeah, because I know I haven't signed anything with SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, me neither. Or with Sony, or with any of the companies that are being
I did a long time ago.
Yeah, So we can't we can't cross a picket line we're not a part of.
So that I think on face value, and B, to a lot of the, not all, but some of the people that I know that cosplay, they are very. I'm trying to find the right wording here.
Introverted.
Yeah, they're very socially introverted, and doing cosplay is their way of expressing themselves in a manner and for social consumption.
Yeah, actually, and I saw in an article I read, I saw a great a panel with some voice actors who said, "Oh yeah, we highly encourage people who are hobbyists, cosplayers. Please keep doing so, and if you'd like, show support." In some way, like bring like a SAG-AFTRA sign or something, in with it, or do just modify your cosplay to show your support for the strike, so you can still cosplay and still show you support the strikers. And then also, they were saying that they would love to see people cosplay as Fran Drescher, particularly as a character from The Nanny. After her big speech, being a leader for SAG-AFTRA, and I would love to see that.
She had some great outfits, man.
And some very big hair.
Yes,
I forgot how big that hair was.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, she had
kinda
90s hair,
Or was it 90s hair, or was it like 60s?
Well, it was in the 90s, but the hair was 80s.
We called her Monique.
Wow.
We had this lady, we had this girl at school, her hair was, the teased and up 8 feet off her head, just like the front.
yeah.
We would always do like a thing with our hand on her forehead and go, Monique.
Yeah, very, very Jersey girl, yes.
Wow. See, and but my problem is that this in and of itself, by telling cosplayers this, it's bullying. And if you're threatening with them, with calling them names, or one person actually threatened that they would not be that doing any kind of cosplay like that would seriously hamper them ever being allowed in the unions.
Yeah, that's some bull baloney hunky donkey right there.
And so, thankfully, Neil Gaiman came out, and he has actually made a statement about it. Gaiman debunked the myth that fan art and cosplay go against the strikes. The SAG guidelines against promoting struck work, he explains, only apply to paid influencers. Paid influencers are people, so basically what they're...
Like the Kardashians.
Well, anybody who, if say like Studio X comes up to Spencer and says, "Hey Spencer, we want you to cosplay as so-and-so at this movie premiere, and we'll pay you for it." That would be going against, the strike. And, depending on what your moral viewpoint is.
Or how hungry I am at the time.
Yeah, you make your decision upon that. So, and he goes on further to say, anyone can say anything they want on social media, but that doesn't make it true. Whether the people spreading information are overzealous fans or anti-labor trolls, or I'm going to paraphrase and add a little bit of another little caveat to that. If they are basically getting the information and not reprocessing it putting their
I think
own
that's
spin on
that's where the overzealous part comes in.
Well, that overzealous fans is the different from a SAG member who's putting their connotation on it.
Yeah.
Trying to stir up resentment against the unions. Rest assured that you don't have to take a random Twitter thread as gospel. So I'll take it from Neil Gaiman, please.
He's a smart dude.
But at the same time, if you choose to support the strike for SAG-AFTRA, don't be afraid to do that either. It is your right to, and if you want to support them, please do. If you don't want to support them, like I said last week, as far as Pop Culture Kaboom is concerned, we're Switzerland.
We're a news outlet.
I'm just
have
going
to be able to cover the news.
Call out stuff like this where it's, I think, is more detrimental to specific groups than it is helping out a strike, which this is, because I don't think cosplayers should be caught in the middle of any kind of union or political strife.
Especially, like you said, a vast majority of them are people who are just showing a love of the hobby.
Yeah, I mean, they're not getting paid for making those things, and a lot of them are kids, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be calling kids names like that, like calling them scab and everything? That's so detrimental to their overall mental health. So don't do that.
It's just you just need to do your research. I mean, obviously, I mean, it took us like 2 seconds to find the guidelines that said,
I mean,
it was all debunked. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Literally, I put cosplay, strike cosplay guidelines in the search bar, and boom.
And they even have the SAG-AFTRA has an entire guideline on what actors can do and cannot do, and if you're not an actor, what you can and cannot do. If you're a journalist, I mean, they have all these guidelines out there. Go and read for yourself. Don't listen to somebody who just interprets what they read.
Yeah, and interprets it in the way they want.
Right.
Yeah. So, which is always a problem. That's where it turns into misinformation. All right. So, do you have an opinion on that? 775-515-4141, or you can hit me up on the Facebook at Pop Culture Kaboom on Facebook. All right. Dynamite Entertainment has revealed a sequel. Oh, you got something to say about that, Chewie? I completely agree. So, what about Halloween costumes? You mean like Michael Myers, Eric? Those Halloween costumes? Oh, no, those masks. Remember from Halloween 3?
The silver shamrock.
Yeah, bugs start crawling out your head.
Right.
Or whatever weirdness was going on with those things.
Yeah, basically, it was witchcraft.
Really? Mm-hmm. I saw that movie once.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Yeah, it should never have been
a Halloween movie. Yeah,
well, they were trying, because Halloween was, they originally wanted to do it as an anthology thing. But so they were trying to put it back into an anthology thing with 3, but the problem is you already had 2 Michael Myers ones, and people were expecting Michael Myers.
And the fact that the second one immediately started where the first one left off.
Yes.
There wasn't like a year later. No, it was the same night. They picked up right when he was dead on the ground.
Yeah,
not dead on the ground.
Okay, Eric, I don't understand what that means, Eric. I know. I think more about 501.
501. Hawaii 50? No, that was
Hawaii. Or the Witcher. Oh, okay. I think. If you want to dress up as a Halloween costume, it says that he has an original 1978 Darth Vader in the sealed box still.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
what
nice.
do you think about that, Chewie?
Yeah,
wow.
See, you're upsetting Chewie, man.
Yeah, I know. He did not sound happy about that. Okay, so we got to hit this break on time this time, so we got to go. But again, more Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show coming up right on the other side of this. Chewie, you want to tell them what you send us out? That means we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom, a radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. I jumped ahead of myself by a whole segment. I'm way too early. Dynamite Entertainment has revealed a sequel to the cult horror classic Army of Darkness.
You mean that isn't Ash versus Evil Dead?
No, Dynamite Entertainment.
Well, yeah,
comics.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. The show was a sequel, kind of. But
finally giving us a payoff to both the original ending of Army of Darkness and the series finale of Ash versus
because
Evil Dead.
They did use the super future ending for the Ash versus Evil Dead.
Right. Yeah. So, and that's where this is going to pick up. Ash is heading into the future of Army of Darkness Forever. Army of Darkness Forever is an upcoming comic series from Dynamite Entertainment, so expect at least 50 cover variants. And it takes place across 3 timelines. The Techno Army of Darkness of 2093, the S-Mart Isles of 1993, and the Middle Ages Chaos of Castle Kandar. With no date on there, I would probably say 1193. How about that?
Yeah. Sure, why not? I can't remember the year it was supposed to be. So.
Me neither. I don't think they actually had one, but anyway. All 3 get the spotlight in the series. Dynamite is going to do it up big as we've just passed the 30th anniversary of the movie Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness #1 was the first comic ever published by the company back in 2024.
Really? I did not know that.
So go along with the new series. They are releasing an Army of Darkness movie adaptation, 30th anniversary edition, and Army of Darkness 30th anniversary Trading Cards. The movie adaptation was originally released in 1992, written by brothers Sam and Ivan Raimi, with jaw-dropping painted interiors from John Bolton, who did the X-Men. The award-winning story is over 80 glorious pages of action. I was trying to figure out the best way to pronounce that, actually. And the book also features a special interview with Bruce Campbell, conducted by comics legend Kurt Busiek. The trading card set showcases the best Army of Darkness comic book art and photos across an 18-card base set. Chase cards include 6 signed cards, 9 movie photo cards, 9 line art cards, and a 9-card puzzle set, and a special box topper pack of 3 special cards. Hundreds of exclusive hand-drawn, one-of-a-kind sketch cards are also included across packs, with a stacked roster of top artists. Army of Darkness Forever #1, the hardcover film adaptation, and the trading cards are slated for release in October of this year.
Well, they had to have something with hundreds of variations. I mean, it is Dynamite Entertainment.
Yeah, they decided to do that with the trading cards. Yeah. Skybound Entertainment is bringing Dracula back to life for a brand new 4-issue comic book limited series. This collaboration between Skybound and Universal is the latest milestone in a near-decade-long relationship that encompasses film and video games and now comic book publishing. The comic book miniseries will unfold over 4 suspenseful issues, with the first installment plunging readers into the eerie world of Dr. John Seward after he admits a seemingly delusional new patient to his asylum. It just didn't sound right when I read it. He admits. What do you mean admits? Recounting chilling tales of a demonic entity residing next door, the skeptical doctor attempts to rationalize the unexplainable, but his adopted daughter Lucy mysteriously succumbs to the malevolent influence of the enigmatic. Oh boy, I'm going to mess up Cordillera so bad.
They threw out every $3 million word at you right now.
They pretty much are. Somebody was using the thesaurus when they were writing this. Enigmatic Count Dracula. In addition to Dracula himself, the series also features some popular characters from the original film, including R.M. Renfield, Mina Seward, Dr. John Seward, Van Helsing, and more. Universal Monsters Dracula will be followed by more new limited series spotlighting the iconic monsters from some of the top creators in comics. Each series will feature variant covers, shocking, from some of the best artists working in comics today. Universal Monsters Dracula #1 will be available at comic shops and digital platforms, including Amazon Kindle, Apple Books, Comixology, and Google Play on October 25th. So I guess they're going to be doing all of the Universal Monsters.
Well, they kind of do that plan every time. They just start with a different monster every time, and sometimes the plan works, and then sometimes you get the Mummy with Tom Cruise.
Wow, or yeah, that was one of them. That's true. That was the original Monsterverse they were going to try and do.
Yeah,
because that also had Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in it too.
Yes, it did. Yeah. So sad. Anyway, this weekend at the San Diego Comic-Con, DC and Warner Brothers announced a new Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong project in conjunction with Legendary Pictures.
Okay, that's getting a little busy.
Yeah, just a little. I honestly, how he's a big monkey against Superman. Really? Come on, man.
Well, just like with the Godzilla versus Kong, to make it so he actually has a fighting chance, maybe they'll give him like an axe of kryptonite this time or something.
Ooh, kryptonite, yeah, because you could just randomly find that laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Project Inc. blah, blah, blah. The joint project by DC Comics and Legendary Comics will see the Justice League of the DCU meet the Legendary Monsterverse, beginning with both Godzilla and Kong for November, with King Kong climbing the Daily Planet building and more to come. A special variant cover.
Visual.
Yeah, not really. The special variant cover will also be provided with, which will include a Godzilla roar in the comic book itself.
Huh. I kind of like that. So if it works.
Now it's like this.
What are you talking about? We have a Wookiee sitting right here.
I have a Wookiee.
But I mean, they have a good opportunity to use it. You flip the page and it sounds, and there's Godzilla. You know what I mean? Like that'd be like a good.
So it's basically like a greeting card.
Yeah.
You open it up and you...
But not at the beginning. You know what I mean? Like you're reading it, and then when they introduce Godzilla, you know what I mean? That'd be like a cool aspect.
That would be a cool aspect, actually.
Yeah.
How they could actually pull it off.
That's what I said.
Question.
That's what I said. If it's done right.
Yeah, that would have to be like right exactly in the middle and be a 2-page spread.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like you can totally, because you're not expecting it. You know.
But here's the problem: it's still Godzilla versus basically the world of DC demigods.
But
I mean, Wonder Woman.
But see,
Superman,
it's hard because
Green
Godzilla
Lantern.
and King Kong neither are inherently evil, neither are inherently good.
And neither can take on Superman.
But do you know what I mean? Like, why does the Justice League need to be involved?
It has something to do with the Legion of Doom. And
Of
actually,
course
they
it
get,
does.
from what I understood, because I kind of read a little brief synopsis, they got transported to, actually, the DCU. They weren't actually, they're not actually part of the DCU.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, so
they
it's
got
not like...
transported to.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it's not one of those
it could be
swing
more or
verse.
less, even though it's saying verse, it could be more or less them getting them back home to their own universes.
Yeah, Eric says the spread would need to be card stock in order for them
Right.
to do what you want. So Eric will design it for you, apparently.
Awesome. Go for it.
From the comic books being released July 26th, at least here, I highlight. Can you believe we're almost done with July already? Dang.
Yeah, it's gonna way too
At least
fast.
here, I highlight the #1 issues and/or major story or anniversary issues that are being released because those are the ones that have the most value interest to collectors and investors. Don't base your buying decisions solely on my opinion. It is, after all, only my opinion. To keep the list to a minimum, I do not include any trade paperbacks, graphic novel collections, hardcover, softcover volumes, or reprints. If you are an independent comic book company or creator and you have something coming out, please let me know by sending me an email at popculturekaboom@gmail.com. Put upcoming comics in the subject line and include in the body of the email the publisher's name, the title of the book or books that are coming out, when the book or books will be coming out, the issue number, so that I can add them to my lists in the future. First up, Aardvark Venom has Cerebus in Hell presents War is Hell #1 one-shot where he blows up a bunch of G.I. Joe figures. Advent Comics has Blackmore #1 of 2. AWA Studios has Ribbon Queen #1 of 8 with 4 cover variants. Band of Bards has Jason and the Olympians #1. Jason is spelled Jacin. Boom Studios has Alice Never After #1 of 5 with a wallet-busting 7 cover variants. Berserker Poetry of Madness #1 with a wallet-busting 9 cover variants.
Is that the one that
Keanu Reeves one?
yeah.
Okay.
The next series. Brilliant Enterprise has Kent Menace Quarterly #1. Chaos Quill Comics has Crestar and the Night Stallion, not the same, I remember that toy line, I think it was called Crestar or something like that. Crestar and the Night Stallion #1 of 5 with 3 cover variants. DC Comics, of course, is going crazy with their whole Night Terrors thing. They have Batman Beyond Neo Gothic #1 with a wallet-busting 5 cover variants. Night Terrors Action Comics #1 of 2 with a wallet-busting 6 cover variants. Night Terrors Angel Breaker #1 of 2 with a wallet-busting 6 cover variants. I don't know who Angel Breaker is. Night Terrors Detective Comics #1 of 2 with 6 cover variants. Night Terrors Harley Quinn #1 of 2 with 6 cover variants. Night Terrors Titans #1 of 2 with 6 cover variants. Poison Ivy Uncovered #1 one-shot with 6 cover variants. Superman The Last Days of Lex Luthor #1 of 3 with a wallet-busting 5 cover variants.
Wow.
Drin Production After Dark has Under a Blood Red Moon #1 with 2 cover variants. Fair Square Comics has Immortal Ascension #1 of 2 with 2 cover variants. IDW Publishing has Godzilla Monsters and Protectors Summer Smash #1 with 4 cover variants. That should have been the title of a video game.
That does sound like that's a video game I would play right there.
And for all you bronies out there, My Little Pony Camp Big Hoof #1 with 4 cover variants. Image Comics has Pur Evil, Purr like cat, purr.
Okay.
Well, cats are evil, so
Pur Evil #1 of 6 with a wallet-busting 5 cover variants. Kinspot Entertainment with Rebel Girls #1 with a bank-busting 13 cover variants.
Right.
Marvel Comics, What If Dark Spider Gwen #1 with 4 cover variants. X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023 #1 with a bank-busting 11 cover variants. Opus Comics has Frank Frazetta's Mothman #1 of 5 with a wall-busting 5 cover variants. Scout Comics has Charm City #1 with 3 cover variants. Space Outlaws #1 of 3 with 2 cover variants. Talon Seeds of Darkness #1 with 2 cover variants. Trakovi #1 of 5 with 2 cover variants. Wild Cosmos #1 with 2 cover variants. Scratch Comics has Dracula the Return, Cult of the White Worm #1 of 4. Source Point Press has Blaze Ya Dead Homie #1, one shot. Cover Darkness Femme Fatales #1. Murder by Mail #1 with 2 cover variants. Not email, by mail, for all of you people who don't know what snail mail is. Sumerian Comics has Children of the Comet #1 of 5 with a wallet-busting 7 cover variants. And Titan Comics has Rivers of London, Here Be Dragons #1 of 4 with 3 cover variants. Which sounds awfully familiar, like IDW's Godzilla, There Be Dragons.
Yeah, and then of course, every old world map, at the edge of the world always says "There be dragons here" or whatever.
Yeah,
some variation.
now they're in London, which sounds too much like Godzilla. So San Diego Comic-Con, the name of the parent company of San Diego Comic-Con, San Diego Comic Convention is blah blah blah, chose preview night to announce it has teamed with Entertainment Cruise Productions to promote Comic-Con The Cruise.
I saw this.
Which it describes as a whole new experience that brings the community together and immerses fans in the world of popular arts like never before. See, if they're going to say popular arts, it can't be Hollywood-centric. Durr. Anyway, that kind of proves my point. This Ultimate Fan adventure celebrates their passions and is full of surprises with not really, you're on a ship. I mean, unless they're like hiding people in the bowels of the ship or something.
They might have a heliport and heliport them in.
Yeah, good point.
Yes,
depending on
get the
the
bat.
That's
depending on the star.
The shark repellent bat spray.
This with original one-of-a-kind entertainment delivered by iconic and beloved Comic-Con stars and creators who step off the stage and dine, party, and interact with the guests throughout the cruise in an environment like no other, because you're trapped on a ship with them. A full ship charter, Comic-Con The Cruise will set sail on the 5th of February until the 9th of February from Tampa, Florida to the Mexican island of Cozumel,
yeah.
On board Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Seas. I've never been on a cruise in my life.
Neither have I.
So I don't know if I would want to go on a cruise.
I kind of feel
that.
bad for the celebrities. It says that they're dining and partying with these. There could be some very serious stalker situations going on.
Yeah.
Well, you're assuming they're going to get somebody A-list.
Well, it don't matter. Even you know what I mean. There's
some
there's fans for everybody.
That's true. I mean, there's somebody who would stalk Burt Ward if he was there.
But you know what I mean. And you're on a ship. You know, yeah.
Life vest,
right? That would be my first thing as a celebrity. And if there's a stalker, how do I get off?
Where are the guns? Can I bring my own?
Probably not.
Pepper spray? If it feels like you haven't heard a lot about what's happening with the Overwatch League lately, that's okay. A lot of us haven't. Even those of us who keep an eye on it, like me, to say that this year hasn't felt all that special is an understatement, as the league's presence isn't what it used to be when it first launched in 2018, and it feels like organizers and teams barely do anything to promote weekly matches or hype people up to watch. Now it feels like this year may be the last, as it appears there may be a buyout option on the table for all the teams, which might effectively kill the league entirely. The word came down this week in some financial filings by Activision Blizzard that the league has been facing issues, that they amended some of the terms in the league to essentially give the team owners an out, in short, saying that they do not wish to finish out the 2023 season. They can terminate their participation with a $6 million termination fee. Wait, they can...
Sorry, what?
They can terminate with a $6 million termination fee. So I would have to pay them $6 million to terminate.
That sounds like something Activision would pull.
Wow, Activision. Wow. which in many ways feels like the company trying to gain some money back. Oh, yeah, it does.
Some money?
Yeah, a lot of money. Back before the Microsoft acquisition is final, which included laying off dozens of people from their esports division days after a judge ruled against the FTC block. It's a shame the league has fallen on hard times. But in many ways, the results are due to the organization's own poor decisions and failure to capitalize on things at the right moment. Sure, there are the issues it had with problematic players and having their insane contracts and weird rule books leaked. Plus, the pandemic didn't do the league any favors, being LAN only for 2 years with no crowd support. But the biggest issue for it over the years was the fact that all of the teams were created by mostly non-esports groups with little to no experience, while blocking out any established pro teams from being in the league that you see playing other games. So, without all that being said, the music's coming up. It is time for the top of the hour. Currently, fire weather has just been issued in the Carson City, Reno area, effective tomorrow at 12 noon. So be aware of fire weather. Fire weather watch.
Fire weather watch. Okay.
So just be aware of that. And we'll be back with more Pop Culture Kaboom radio show right after this. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. I don't know what happened to my bumper music there. That was interesting.
That was Marcel Marceau's greatest hit, "Walking in the Wind."
Oh, or pausing by dog. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. And this weekend coming up at the Sparks location of coffee and comics, there's going to be a Cosplay for Kindness fundraiser so that they can try and obtain their 501(c)(3). And here to tell us all about it is the president of Cosplay for Kindness and cosplayer himself at Boykins Cosplay, Mr. Brandon Boykins. And how are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. A little tired, a little confused there by that break there for a second.
Oh, we could have had Chewy, serenade us in, but we didn't have enough warning.
Oh, I guess not. Well, I'll explain that at the next break. So, sir, you guys have a cosplay or a fundraiser coming up.
Yes, we do.
Let's start with first off, what is Cosplay for Kindness, and what do you guys do in the community?
Yeah, so for those wondering, Cosplay for Kindness, we are a nonprofit organization in which we visit people in hospitals, birthdays, fundraisers, literally everything else you can think of, dressed as your favorite superheroes and princesses, just bringing smiles to the community and everything around there. So if there's like a family celebration or a birthday party or just anything in general you guys would just love to contact us for or just have us for in general, all we need is a date, location, and time. And we can figure out the rest as far as if there's a specific character you would like to have or theme you're kind of going for or whichever.
So if like a movie house has a showing, say, The Avengers, and they contact you guys, you would say, hey, could some people show up dressed as The Avengers?
Yeah, just as simple as that. And then I will contact our team and see who's available for that day or for that weekend. And then we'll go from there as far as getting everybody set up and getting everybody there for the event.
Now, to keep kind of current with movies, so Barbie, would that be off the table? If Sally's having a birthday and she would like to...
I wouldn't say that it's off the table yet. It's just nobody on our team has bought anything Barbie-wise. But
I know there's like a Monster High, but I don't think I've seen anybody in Barbie.
Oh, you never know. With the popularity of the movie right now, you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
Future birthday parties, coming up now, might, little Sally might want to have,
Yeah, have the Barbie, that's been written on and had the haircut.
No cross ones where it would be Harley Quinn / Barbie.
Harley Barbie.
I was just gonna say, we could definitely figure something out because with the whole movie trend, it seems as if it's just as simple as basically just wear something pink and Barbie-esque. So I mean that could fit for Harley Quinn and a bunch of characters that we could easily just kind of do some sort of fun mashup of kind of bringing. So Barbie, I would say, is off the table.
Okay, because it would be interesting the mashups that could come out of that.
Princess Harley.
Totally.
Princess Harley, yeah. Oh boy. So what exactly is going to go on? Because I know you guys have the cosplay coming up, or the fundraiser coming up and I'm trying to get that information right now, actually.
At Coffee and Comics on Bering Boulevard.
At the 1235 Bering Boulevard, Coffee and Comics, from 5 to 9 p.m., July 29th. So this is to help raise funds, but also you guys got a lot of stuff going on. It is free to the public, but there are a couple of things, like a raffle, correct?
Yes. There will be a raffle, a cosplay contest with a chance to win 3 prizes, one for best costume, I believe, best in show, and then one for our kid category as well. There will be karaoke singing, so for any of you singers out there, there's definitely that opportunity, and to just blast out and just sing whichever Disney song you want, or anything else that's just as obscure.
Anything from Disney to Sublime.
Exactly.
Oh, I have a feeling somebody's going to show up dressed in from the Barbie movie and request that Aqua song.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. And
really,
after what was it called, Silver Age, after Silver Age Comic-Con, when I was in my Bowser cosplay at the time, when I showed up, as soon as I walked through the doors, everybody there at Coffee and Comics was immediately like in awe, because they're like, "Get your butt on stage. You know exactly what's about to go down, and you know exactly what we want. We want you singing Peaches. full belted out Peaches. We need it. We want it right now. We'll cue it up as soon as the song's over with."
Wow, which is kind of funny. Rob, you weren't and you were busy, Spencer. When I took the camera down and I did some interviews at the Silver Age Comic Con, which will be up on the Pop Culture Boom YouTube page, I interviewed Brandon Boykins about his Boykins cosplay. He was dressed as King. I thought it was King Koopa, not
King Koopa is Bowser.
Oh, okay.
King Koopa is Bowser, yeah.
And I asked him to do an impromptu Peaches song. So it is all on video, so it will be a part of the video from the Silver Age Comic Con. And I already warned him, it's also going to be played as the audio while the credits are rolling at the end of the video too. So
yeah.
So which means I'm going to have to take it and make it into an MP3, and I will send it to you so you can start using it as your ringtone.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy.
So good times. So karaoke, raffles, cosplay contests, all ages welcome, coffee, drinks, because it is a coffee shop after all. Anything else going on? Do you guys have any events coming up that you will be attending that you can promote? Because I know like private birthday parties you can't like give shout outs for.
Right. Come to Sally's.
Come to Sally's house.
I would say the next thing we have coming up is ArieCon and the Elko Comic-Con that's coming soon in August. I believe in the middle of August. I believe August 18th to the 20th, so like that Friday through that Sunday, which I believe, like I said, I could be wrong, but I believe it's like the 17th to the 19th.
You're right on.
Dead on. 18th through the 20th is ArieCon in Reno, and the Elko Comic Con, or actually how did they phrase it? It was something weird. Some PopCon. That's what it was.
No, PopCon. Thank you.
Elko PopCon which made it sound like popcorn, which is why.
Oh yeah, because I think Comic Con is technically trademarked, so you can't.
Oh
say
yeah, it
that.
is.
Yeah.
They're trying to trademark it. That's why a lot of them went to like Fan Expo or something like that. But that is also the 18th and 19th. So you were good on both dates. Actually, you covered both of them at the same time.
Well, I'm actually surprised. Usually I'm always terrible about dates. Usually, so I'm actually proud of myself.
So, just out of curiosity, how did you get involved with Cosplay for Kindness? I know you're one of the co-founders, but what made you decide to actually start doing it?
It was a superhero-themed father-daughter dance over at the Bridge Church, which is located right next to the Boys and Girls Club by Reno High. And they were asking anybody at the time, I saw a Facebook post about it, and it was asking anybody with a superhero theme or a superhero cosplay at all. So whether that's just anything in general, even if you have supervillains, that's totally fine. You could just come by, take some pictures with the families and the kids, dance, have some food, and just literally have a good time. And so me and 3 or 4 other random people showed up in our different costumes at the time, and just had a blast, had an all-out blast. And out of the kindness of the hearts for the people hosting the event, apparently some of the money that was left over from the proceeds of the event, they decided to just donate to all of us out of just the kindness of their hearts, which was like beyond kind. And we used that to all go to dinner together the following weekend, and we decided there's no organization that's like this here in Reno. I know of one in Vegas and tons of them in California as well, but just none in general here in Reno. And so we thought, why not? Why not start one and just try and create that same thing and make that same impact in our community, like here locally. And it's been fantastic. We've gained about, I want to say about 20 members, and it's still growing, all with people with all different kinds of experience, from those who've been cosplaying for about, I want to say maybe 15 or 10, 15 years, some who were just like me, who started in 2019.
Wow, so you're relatively new to the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, these people have their cosplays are on point. Like, I've seen Brendan in a really, really good Black Panther costume. He had a killer Scorpion at last year's RageCon too.
Nice.
Yeah. That was Scorpion, right, Brandon?
Yeah, that was definitely it.
And he's also done Shinobi from Demon Slayer.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, and he's not the only one. A lot of the people at cosplay. There is a guy who does Spider-Man who is just as thin and spindly as the real Spider-Man,
and flexible. I've seen him do some of the Spider-Man poses. Mm-hmm. Wow, I'd be like, my back would be thrown out like 3 days.
Oh yeah,
my back. I feel the pain in my back just thinking about it. So,
but yeah,
that's always the interesting thing when I see with Spider-Man cosplayers in general. Just not even the ones that's on our team.
That's true.
Is the ones I see in general, and I think of like being my like smaller, limber self back in like elementary school or middle school.
Yeah.
Like, twist my leg like over my shoulder to look more like limberly, as flexible as Spider-Man and all that, and my bones and joints are still feeling it to today.
So, out of all the cosplays that you have done, because we just listed a lot of them, what has been your favorite so far?
To be honest, I love this question. For me, unfortunately, I'm going to go with the generic answer and say all of them. Because for me, as you know, I love getting into character. And growing up, I had wanted to be an actor as well. So, like, doing cosplay for me, like, gives me the chance to really treat a lot of my cosplays like an actor preparing for a role. So I get the chance to challenge myself for 8 or 9 hours in a day, if not longer, at a con, trying to, alter my voice as much as I can to sound as close to Black Panther as I can, and use, pretty much being a leader and being like a ruler of a kingdom when it comes to cosplay for kindness. So actually getting out there and trying to be more business savvy and try to reach out to as many people as possible, and to set up meetings, and to be more organized, which is stuff I never thought I'd ever be able to achieve growing up. So it's being able to do that as Black Panther, or for Killer Bee, for example, for any anime fans out there, from Naruto. I can't rap or rhyme at all to save my life. So for a character like Killer Bee to literally rap and rhyme everything he says for an entire day at a con or event or whatever I'm doing is so fun for me, because then I really get to, like, almost, like I said, then treat myself similar to a rapper, and like think of random bars and rhymes on the spot whenever someone is like, "Hey, how's your day?" Then my brain is already on go mode of like, okay, let's think of something that rhymes with day. Oh, go, and try and think of something that's challenging that way. So it's all just the little minute things in acting similar to the character, which is like, for me, a absolute fun and absolute challenge with every single cosplay that I have that I just absolutely adore. So unfortunately, I can't say like I have one specific cosplay that I love. I would just say just all of them in general create their own little tidbits and challenges that just, for me in general, like create the most fun.
And we are talking with Brandon Boykins. He does Boykins Cosplay. You can follow him on the Facebook, or you can go to linktr.ee/Boykins_cosplay. That is a Linktree is a website you can go to. From there, he has all of his links to all of his social medias, a KTVN S2K Cosplay for Kindness video, as well as all kinds of other stuff, as well as a tab for you to donate to Cosplay for Kindness. And that is a way you can get a hold of him through there or through the Facebook, which I follow Matt, and when he posts, I repost in the Pop Culture Kaboom news feed, as well as Cosplay for Kindness is on Facebook as well. And I'm bringing all this up because if somebody wanted to get a hold of you or a hold of Cosplay for Kindness, would that be the best way for them to do so?
Yes, they can either email us through cosplayforkindness@gmail.com, cosplay for kindness, FOR, not the number 4, like I said, kindness@gmail.com. Or again, you can DM us on Facebook or Instagram and go from there. Or again, even if you would like to just join the team, if you're just as nerdy, then we have a Google Doc link on our link tree that you can go through in our bio and go from there as far as filling all that out, as far as if you want to help us out 1,000% and be fully a part of the team, or if you want to be someone that helps out with our social media team, or if you just want to be like our handler, which is someone that kind of watches our table and helps us, walk around and get through things and be a little more organized at our events and things such as that. So there's whichever part of the team you want to participate in, there's definitely an opportunity right through our bio in our Join the Team link.
Nice. I'm sorry, I got distracted with something that just popped up out of nowhere. That was kind of weird. Sorry about that.
All good.
I wanted to bring up, it was kind of funny because you brought up the rapping thing, and I remember last year at the RageCon, and you were, and they're like, "Come on, rap it," which was kind of funny. I will try and be there. I'll be bringing my camera. I want to get as much on video as I can for the Pop Culture Kaboom YouTube channel. So I will be there on Saturday, the 29th, 5 to 9, at the Sparks Coffee and Comics location. It is the fundraiser for Cosplay for Kindness, so please participate. And, sir, I will see you there.
I will definitely see you there.
All right, sir. Thank you for being on, and can't wait to talk to you next time I talk to you on the radio show. Hopefully it'll be about the acting that you are doing in some films right now.
Yes, my friend.
All right, sir. We'll talk to you later, and thank you for joining us. Everybody else, we got to take this break. When we get back, it'll be movie time with Mr. Tony Sanfilippo, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. Each week, the Film Hours That Be release dozens of movies, some of which you will never hear about except here. Each week's upcoming releases are carefully picked over from Rotten Tomatoes, and up to 5 films are selected from genres that I would watch, and those genres are action, adventure, horror, science fiction, anime, or fantasy, and that is pretty much it. With that in mind, we sit through some of the most hideous trailers ever made, and we'll read you the synopsis of each film, then give you our not-so-humble opinions. Bear in mind, we are not professional movie critics. We're just overly opinionated blowhards. But Mr. Tony Sanfilippo of Filippo's Horrible Reviews is... You can catch all of Tony Sanfilippo's reviews of concerts, television shows, and movies at Filippo's Horrible Reviews on Facebook. And how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, Jimmy. How are you, bud?
I'm all right. Just trying to get through the day.
Wow.
That is good. I'm currently enjoying some family time here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. That's where I'm doing the show from. Just
Nice.
down the street from Cheyenne Frontier Days, baby.
You are a very well-traveled man.
He is.
I am. Yes. This thing is funny. Is Cheyenne's actually only about it's like a Reno to Carson drive from where I live, so it's not terribly far. But yes, I do get around.
Yeah, I think
I'm a travel hostie.
I think the most difficult one he's ever done was he was on a cruise ship in the Caribbean trying to get connected.
That would be one expensive phone call.
It was.
Yeah, that was a tough one. And then the early days, I did that one from Cabo, and I had those idiots yelling while I was trying to do the show. And that was a tough one. It's always tough when you're on the go and you're out and about. Your surroundings are a little different.
Yeah. I was telling him he should wear a sign that says, "I'm doing a radio show. Tune in here to hear what I'm saying."
No, I should. This is right now. It would do me no good. I'm sitting in my vehicle while the concert's going, and my family's out there drinking beers and stuff. So
Oh, no.
I'm in
Even your
equipment
kids?
area. Not to distract. You guys don't need all the excess noise and all the loud cheering. And we get the occasional biker, where they want to take you to the concerts and stuff, and they have loud music. So it kind of secludes the outside noise.
All right. Well, let's get to these movies because we do got 5
Yeah,
of them.
movies.
Yes. Let's start with Shrapnel.
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel. When Sean's daughter goes missing on the Mexican border, he teams up with his former Marine partner to face off against a cartel who kidnapped her. It's movies like this that make me wonder why anyone would travel to countries they don't know anything about. You hear about it all the time on the news as well, so it's not like it's not something that actually doesn't happen. I mean, anyway, I digress.
Well, it happens enough that people use it as movie plots now.
I know. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. A criminal organization is in charge of this entire area. I think I'll go visit there. Or this place is controlled by terrorists.
They could live
Let me go
there.
say hi. It's like, geez, come on, people. Dad is a super soldier, because of course he is, whose daughter has been kidnapped in Mexico by a drug cartel, because of course she was. Can someone please explain to me why it is that since we know where they live, we can't send a couple of cruise missiles in there and just blow them up? If you like your action predictable, then you might enjoy this, but to me, I think Liam Neeson already visited this theme in a much bigger budget movie anyway, so I'm giving it a touch brown. What say you, Tony?
Oh, Marines versus drug cartel. Jason Patrick is off the boat and is speeding to his next mission. Wink, wink. And he saved his daughter. Them darn dirty druggies kidnapped Sean's daughter. He does what any dad would do and save her at all costs. He recruits his buddy to take down Garza and the drug crew. While the story and action seem all there, it's all too predictable and unrealistic. 2 men versus a cartel is a no-win situation in real life. However, in here, seems like they can just mow down this entire cartel. So I'm sure at the end, though, Sean will be the last man standing, and he'll get his daughter back at the cost of his buddy's life. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and skip it because it looks super predictable. So I'm also with you, Jimmy. Touch brown.
And the buddy's going to go down in a blaze of glory.
Exactly. Sacrifice.
With a loaded six-string on his back.
Spencer, what say you?
Well, this one kind of struck me as it does look like it's basically a remake of Taken with Liam Neeson. So I'm wondering if he'll have as much success as Liam Neeson in getting his daughter back, or if he'll have as much success as Sylvester Stallone in Last Blood.
Didn't see that one, but I'm sure he has a particular set of skills.
Yeah, so he's probably going to be much like the production. It looks like it's going to be fairly middling, and unfortunately, poor Jason Patrick it's like he's recast from Liam Neeson, just like how he got recast from Keanu Reeves from the first Speed and the second one. And the guy can't catch a break. But
hopefully in this one he doesn't catch a bullet.
That's good. That's a zinger, man. That's a zinger.
I like good predictable action movies for background noise. I don't think this is going to be like an Arnie one where you can get good one-liners and such. But I'll give it a blah.
Oh, okay. Rob, what say you?
Yes, well, Jason Patrick gave up fighting vampires and chasing waves to search for his missing daughter on the Mexican border. Sounds exciting as it is. Yeah, this was one of those totally trope movies that, yeah, Liam Neeson, he already did 3 of them. We don't need a 4th one called Shrapnel. So, Touch Brown.
Okay. What is next, Tony?
Oh, let's go see The Mistress, man. The movie's not called The Mistress, man. It's just called The Mistress. And its synopsis is, Maddie and Parker move into their dream home when they discovered old letters from a lovelorn woman who lived there over 100 years ago. Parker experiences ghostly disturbances while Maddie suspects he's hiding something dark from his past. He's a cheater, Maddie. That's what's up. Okay. Spooky house, newlywed couple, and a big bosom neighbor to make her way right at home, including with your husband. Spoiler, she's not real, because there's no way she's attracted to the main guy. She's a total nerd. Oh my God, houses are haunted. Just Trixie, the ho-ho-ho Merry Christmas babe next door came over. I couldn't take this trailer seriously. The guy's nasally voice was cringe. Basically, he's a cheater. Now he's in a dark despair, and the wife is too stupid to do anything. Lame, no need to waste anyone's time on this spectacular title. Hutch Brown. I couldn't get over that dude's voice.
Wow.
He killed it.
I can't imagine that. Why? Okay. A movie about a haunted house actually has a line in it where the guy says, "The house is not haunted."
Oh, that's so true.
Supernatural horror and an entry in the jump scare drinking game. So grab your favorite adult beverage, 21 and older, please, and prepare to be slow walked to a finale, one that I will not be seeing. Touch Brown. Rob, what say you?
Yes, this seems like a very bad retelling of Something Beneath. And
I thought you were going to say something better.
Well,
and the woman in red, or black. So yeah, it just looks terrible. I mean, why? The premise is stupid. So yeah, Touch Brown.
Oh, okay. That's I was not expecting a Touch Brown from you, Rob.
It looks terrible.
It does look terrible, but I wasn't expecting it.
I have my standards.
Spencer, what say you?
Well, Rob just listed a couple of movies that have done this and done it better. Like the Woman in Black, even the new Hammer one, with Daniel Radcliffe was really interesting. Mm-hmm. Then what was it? What Lies Beneath? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did it better, but. Now I'm going to preface this. It is Touch Brown for me, but I am going to say I do like the concept. I have not seen this executed well yet. Where is it a stalker? Is it supernatural? Where
it's a supernatural stalker?
Or got
to combine the two.
Yeah, but I have not seen anybody be able to do that well in a movie yet. And
The Shining.
Well, if you talk to Stephen King, he's like, oh no. But
the TV show.
Yeah, but I have not seen that really well executed in a movie form yet, and that just is striking me as something that needs to be done well in a movie at some point, someday. This is not that day.
All right, so 2 down, 3 to go. Next up is Talk to Me. Talk to Me. With a gripping story and impressive practical effects, Talk to Me spins a terrifically?
Terrifically.
Oh, terrifically.
Yeah, you were trying to put terror in there, but
I was.
Terrifically.
I was going to shoehorn terror in there somehow.
Terrifically, yes.
Creepy 21st century horror yarn built on classic foundations. All right, creepy supernatural horror with a huge emphasis on creepy, and also grab your favorite adult beverage. It is the latest entry in the jump scare drinking game. Supernatural horror has never been my thing, but this one is definitely creepy enough to warrant a blah. And I'm going to caveat that because I was like, this movie also reminds me a lot of Flatliners with Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts. For some reason, it has that same kind of weird, creepy, other ethereal kind of vibe to it, because that they dealt a lot with images and kind of hallucinations of the
Right.
afterlife and all that stuff. So it reminded me a lot of that movie too, which was kind of weird nostalgia way. But yeah. So Tony, what say you?
That was a good comparison, man. I didn't even think of that. I put this. This reminds me of early Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes where Homer gets the monkey paw to make wishes, but everything has a dark twist to it. Although this is not the Simpsons, but the monkey paw thing makes me think of it. Mm-hmm. So in this, she holds the corpse hand to see her mom again. And hey, as someone who's lost their own mother, I'm definitely never going to do this. Even if it's the opportunity to see my mom again, I just don't need to see some crazy, dark, demonic version of her. So I'm good there. But seriously, as the trailer went, it kept convincing me that I'm going to see the scariest movie that's guaranteed to make me poop my pants in fear. I'm not buying it. In fact, every time they said, talk to me, I envisioned Poison's talk dirty to me. And then I thought, this trailer would be so much more fun if that song played out throughout the trailer. While it doesn't look bad, it definitely has jump scares galore, so get ready for the jump scare drinking game. I would give this the Paul Blart 20-minute rule, so it's a blah for me. I would actually, it doesn't look completely terrible.
All right. Spencer, what say you?
Well, like Tony, I saw the kind of the monkey's paw parallel in there with the corpse hand and stuff, this does have all the fun tropes of a good horror movie. You have all the jump scares. You have making a very bad decision early on that makes absolutely no logical sense, but it gets the movie going, i.e., grabbing hold of a corpse's hand for 90 seconds. It's like, nobody does that. It's not like spin the bottle here, people.
But you don't want to do it any longer than 90 seconds either. So
yeah, but I like to allow particularly horror movies, one really bad decision. If it gets too many bad decisions, it gets boring. But if that's the only really bad decision that makes no sense at all, and the rest of it is this descent into demonic madness that it looks like in the trailer, I would be very interested in seeing this. And that the lead actress I actually kind of felt for her in the trailer. So I'm going to give it a blah.
Oh, okay.
A high blah.
Rob, what say you?
Yes. To me, this seems very much like the monkey's paw. However, it's a corpse.
Is it a corpse though? Or is it just like a ceramic hand?
Yeah. It's
I don't know.
Ceramic
to me,
looking,
It
I don't
looks
know.
like a corpse hand to me.
Yeah, it looks like a corpse hand to me. It's the fact that it actually grips their hand back. Is kind of intriguing to me.
Well, yeah, but I thought that was kind of the monkey's paw thing. Where
that's what I said. So it's intriguing to me, and I think that's where they're going with the impressive practical effects that they're showing you. Like they're starting with this.
See, I thought it was just like a white ceramic thing because everybody wrote on it and everything.
We don't know the premise of why they
true.
had to write on it. It could be to write on it so that you could actually get that maybe in like a seance almost. It kind of reminds me of like they're using it as like a seance / Ouija board type thing. Okay. The premise actually
I was just confused by all that. I'm like
intriguing to me.
Oh yeah, if you write all the stuff on the Ouija board on it, and you have yes on the thumb, no or goodbye on the middle finger. I mean, it all works. No.
Oh.
But,
I was like, you guys are getting way more detail out of that trailer than I did.
Writing on it. So I think he was speculating there. But to me,
they wrote the Constitution actually on there. Every word of every paragraph. Sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. But to me, it actually looks intriguing to me. So I'm going to give it a so-so.
Oh, okay. Make sure you scare the crap out of the people in front of you with those jump scares. All right, Tony, what is next?
The next one is Sympathy for the Devil. And synopsis for this is, after being forced to drive a mysterious passenger at gunpoint, a man finds himself in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse where it becomes clear that not everything is as it seems. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I can't tell you the last time I've watched a Double J assigned trailer, and that's Jimmy Jones, that I've never heard of and been like, whoa, I want to watch that. Like, really watch it. Because most of the time, I already know the trailers. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've seen that before. Looks good. But, man, Nicolas Cage is back as a villain? Yes, sign me up. Castor Troy version 2. I was a huge fan of his villain take in Face Off. And this has seasons of that. Humor, dark, and easy to hate him. I don't think this will play in theaters, so I think it's just going to be streaming. But if it was going to hit theaters, I'd have to say good for me. I liked what I saw, and I actually want to see more of it. I could eat a peach for hours. I think it looks good, man. I don't know. It's a good for me.
Was that actually a line in the trailer?
No, that was in
No,
Face Off.
that was from Face Off.
Okay.
He had a quippy little catchphrase at the end of the trailer, but I'm blanking on what it was. But he totally had that.
Oh, I wanted to be a 100% sex appeal tonight, but you've now got me down to 50% sex appeal.
Yeah, it's just some freaking stupid trope, but man, it made me laugh. I dug it. So I was like, I want to watch it. I don't know. I'm going to break my Touch Brown streak. I'm going to say, I think if it's streaming, it has to be a blah, but if it was going to be a theater, I would go see it. So good for me.
All right, let's just put good and see, because either way, I'm sure there will be a Filippo's horrible review on this one. So
I gotta see it, man. It'll probably disappoint, but I want to see it.
All right, after watching the trailer, I am thoroughly convinced that the director said, "Give me crazy Nick Cage. You don't need a script. Just improvise your scenes. Just be crazy Nick."
Exactly.
That has got to be what happened, because I can't make heads or tails of what actually is going on in this trailer. Is he really supposed to be the devil, or just crazy Nicolas Cage? I'll be finding out from the comfort of my home. I'm going to give it a blah. So, because it does actually look intriguing. Rob, what say you?
It does.
Nicolas Cage, yes. Playing the devil? Oh, yes. Or possibly the devil. But we will have to find out.
Oh, we got to pause it right there as we take this hard break. When we come back, we'll get Rob's impression of Sympathy for the Devil. So don't go anywhere. More Pop Culture Kaboom with Mr. Tony Sanfilippo of Filippo's Horrible Reviews right after this. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. And we are going over the movies that'll be coming out this week. The week of Move Screen. July 24th through July 30th. It wasn't moving fast enough. So far, here is our score off of the first four movies. Mistress, or The Mistress, I should say. All of us gave it touch bounce. Shrapnel, Spencer gave it a blah. Tony, Rob, and I gave it a touch brown. Talk to Me, Rob gave it a so-so. And Tony, Spencer, and I gave it a blah. Sympathy for the Devil, Tony gave it a good. I gave it a blah. Spencer's not yet, but Rob was about to tell us what he thought of Sympathy for the Devil.
Yes, as I was saying, both the aspects of, the devil being portrayed by Nicolas Cage is a very, very, very good yes for me. I think he would take this role and just go with it, excellently.
I'm glad you didn't say he'd take this role seriously, because
no, actually, I don't think he ever. I think he takes all his roles seriously, but I think he gets into his character. I think he's a very good method actor. I don't know if he is a method actor, but to me, he is. Because I can see him embracing all of his roles.
Crazy.
I'm sorry, what was that, Tony?
Crazy Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Crazy Nick Cage right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so to me, definitely this is a good if it was definitely going to be in the theaters. I was looking up on the break, and it says that it is going to be released in theaters, but I can't find a theater that it's being released at, so.
What? Oh,
yeah.
Man. Oh, that's a bummer.
So in that case, then, it obviously would have to be a blah, but I would say good if it's in a theater.
Well, let's just say good. Spencer, what say you?
I love me some good, crazy Nick Cage. Mandy. That movie is just so trippy. And, there are some actors that, when they play the devil or something, or play somebody who, could he be the devil? It's like Al Pacino. Yeah, he's the devil. De Niro. Yeah, devil. Nick Cage, with him going full crazy in this one, remember how I was talking in the other review? Is it a real person? Is it supernatural? Is it a stalker? Is it the actual devil? I'm hoping this will be the movie that'll make me go, wow, I kept guessing, because Nicolas Cage is just crazy enough that he could just be somebody who's intensely psychotic and just can't take your eyes off him, awesome to watch, or he could actually be the devil, coming down to Georgia to steal, Rick Flag's soul.
Which you did in the cab. You can have anything you want. You did a little hand gesture.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That was kind of weird.
So, and
that was another thing I couldn't figure out about that trailer. Was he in the back seat or in the front seat? Because he kept jumping back and forth.
Yeah, I think he does in the movie.
I think that's
probably
part of the aspect of his devilish.
Yeah, and that is one of the things that also is intriguing me about this. I am going to add my chorus of good, add my voice to the chorus of good on this.
Okay.
Because I love crazy Nick Cage.
All right, there you have it. The best reviewed one so far this year might not even be in theaters, unfortunately. All right, yes, Nick Plage does play good crazy. Or he just actually plays crazy good. I don't know about...
It's a good way to put that.
I don't know if any crazy can be considered good, but except when you're playing it.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the 400-pound gorilla in the room this week, which is Haunted Mansion. Here's the easy synopsis. A woman and her son enlist a motley crew, not Motley Crue the band, but a motley crew of so-called spiritual experts to help rid their home of supernatural squatters. So Disney is trying to capture the lightning in a bottle that was the Pirates of the Caribbean. But after watching the trailer, I think they failed. I got more of a Scooby-Doo vibe out of this than a haunted attraction from a theme park, and I'm left scratching my head on what exactly the reasoning behind the whole thing is. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The minute I saw anything as funky weird in a house, I just got, I don't care how I got it, I'm out then and there, period, end of story. So it'd be the shortest movie on the planet. Touch Brown. Tony, what say you?
Oh, man. It's funny. I didn't even read the synopsis of Motley Crue. I could have cracked so many jokes. But
Home sweet home.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. That would have been good. Have, like, the ghost of Mick Mars standing there with a top hat. Oh. This is one of my favorite rides at the Land of Diz in the World of the Mouse. I know it's been done with Axel Foley in the 90s and the Muppets. Both were meh. This has the Sakatano, the Penguin, and Lightning McQueen. For those that don't know, that's Rosario Dawson, Danny DeVito, and Owen Wilson. I do not expect this movie to be great by any means, but it does look entertaining enough for me to go see it. So I will give it a so-so. I'll go catch a matinee of it, but I'll go see it.
All right, another one on the review train for this week from Mr. Sanfilippo. Rob or Spencer, what say you?
Well, I am very tired of the live-action remakes of the rides and stuff. But now we're getting a reboot of a live-action remake of a Disney ride.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because back they were trying to cash in on Eddie Murphy's popularity as Donkey. So they brought him in as the main character for the last Haunted Mansion movie.
Wow.
And basically he was doing his donkey impression as he was flying around on a chair going, "Hey, you don't want to hunt me?" Yeah, and all this crap, and it was
That was a good Murphy, man. I like that. That's a good one.
Donkey. Yeah. But anyway, this one looks better than that. I like Danny DeVito. I mean, I'll give anything he's in a chance. I mean, I was not. I'm still not the biggest fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but when he joined the cast, it actually got a bit better, in my humble opinion.
Okay.
And I just like Danny DeVito because of things I've heard about him, from behind the scenes and stuff. And I did like the one scene where Owen Wilson's like, I don't find any of you scary, except for you. You're kind of terrifying. Can you turn around, please? I found that actually gave me a chuckle. So I will give this I probably wouldn't go see it in the theater. I have a sneaking suspicion my daughter's going to make me see this. So, but probably not until it's on streaming. So I will give it a blah.
Okay.
It's a mid blah.
Rob, what say you?
Yes. Jamie Lee Curtis as Leota. Nice. I thought that casting was actually excellent, as her mother played the original voice of Leota when the ride originally opened. So
I was unaware of that.
There.
That's nice.
That's a cool tidbit.
Yeah. So to me, Disney's going back to its roots. It's trying to go back to the Watcher in the Woods and have a little bit of a scare. From what I'm understanding, they are having some jump scares in this movie. So Disney's kind of trying that horror comedy vibe. I think that they tried with Arachnophobia when they had Touchstone Pictures, which I loved. I thought that was a great mixture of comedy and horror. So I think if they do this well, they have some great comedic actresses. They got great horror actresses. You got Jamie Lee Curtis. She does both. So I think, you got a great casting there. Tiffany Haddish. So I think to me, it's going to be good. I actually have tickets to go see it on Friday with my kids.
Nice.
So it's going to be good. I hope.
It is weird how comedic actors can do other genres so well, just because I think there's just a thing about the timing. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know how this happened, but interestingly enough, this movie got every rating we got. So the Haunted Mansion finishes with Rob giving it a good, Tony giving it a so-so, Spencer giving it a blah, and I'm giving it a touch brown. So we covered the entire spectrum of the rating system here on
that might be the first movie that has achieved that.
I think so. I cannot remember
that.
that. Sympathy for the Devil, though, remains the highest rated one with 3 goods from Rob, Spencer, and Tony, and I gave it a blah. Talk to Me, as Tony, Spencer, and I gave it blahs. Rob gave it a so-so. Shrapnel. Spencer gave it a blah. Everybody else, meaning Tony, Rob, and I, gave it a touch brown. And Mistress was just a big brown streak. Touch browns all the way down the line from all of us. So that was the movies this week. Next week, I can't wait to get your opinion on this one, Tony. It is going to be quite the week of movies next week, starting with the 400-pound gorilla in the room, which is going to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Okay.
Meg 2, The Trench.
I can't wait.
Mobland. Now everybody's like, what?
Then there's the Tumbleweed.
Yeah, there you go. Till Death Do Us Part.
Topland?
And The Collective. So, yeah, I started off really high, and then it was like dropped off that cliff real quick with those.
Yeah, it did. I was like, you had two big ones I know of, and I've seen trailers for, so that's good. The other three I haven't seen yet. So, any crazy Nick Cage in any of them?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, but
I just looked up titles quite honestly.
Yeah, but you have Jason Statham kicking a giant shark in the nose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, that wasn't that. Because, and also coming up after that is when I know that Rob's probably looking forward to seeing The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah.
The vampire in that actually looks really good.
This looks really creepy. It's definitely not the Dracula that you might remember.
Well, what's nice about this is that they always kind of pass over the whole ship. Like scenes in every Dracula movie.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, and he got the England.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool to see everything that happens.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not a prequel. It's kind of a sidequel. So
Well,
you know how it ends, but
it's more in the middle.
yeah,
it's a
a
midquel.
sidequel.
Yeah.
It kind of happens in the middle of the story.
It's a midquel.
Yeah. So you know how it ends, but like Rob said, they typically skip over this part. So this should be it could be interesting. Who knows?
It could be. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's haunted house movie on a boat. So
or worse.
well, because haunted house, you're trapped in a haunted house.
Okay,
So you're trapped on a boat. It's really you can't really go anywhere where you got the sharks. You know.
I suddenly had the Lonely
a
Island
storm
going
at
through my
sea.
head now.
Yeah.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat.
So, Tony, anything going on in your world? Anything worth talking about that you've reviewed recently?
No, I will be adding to Filippo's horrible reviews. I will have some concert reviews. I've just been behind ever since I got back from Nevada, and just been busy with work and with family in town, just making little trips here and there. But be putting up. I saw. Can't remember. I guess that's how good it was, right? I saw Disturbed and Breaking Benjamin like a week ago. So
nice.
I had a review of that, and I finally went and saw Transformers. I mean, I think it's already out on streaming now, but I went and saw Matinee on Tuesday. It was okay.
Hey, for a Transformers movie, that's high praise these days.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but I could have done without the humans. If it would have just been all Transformers, it would have been awesome.
I say that about every monster movie, too.
I agree.
This Godzilla movie would be a lot better if they just talked about Godzilla or showed Godzilla and not had the humans in here at all. So
this had like a grumpy, bitter Optimus Prime, and the fights were cool. But, man, the actors in this movie, they were all no-names. They drove me nuts. It took place in the 90s, and the actors and actresses straight just drove me bonkers. Like, ugh.
They were all no names, and now you know why. So, yeah.
Yeah, my gosh, yeah. When they took a step back, they're like, instead of putting at least someone they went nobody. And I apologize out there if there's people listening. They're like, yes, this person is in this movie, you idiot. Okay, well, I don't know.
I've been following their career for years. Okay, good
exactly.
for you.
This could be their big
all
blockbuster.
right, well,
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need to see any of their stuff. But I know I didn't get to partake in the Phoenix question, but I didn't have a specific favorite toy that I regret not having it now. Like, I regret not saving any of my toys and being a kid and enjoying them. But all my Ninja Turtles and stuff, I had so many rare ones and classic ones, and I opened them all, and they got beat to heck. And, you know, but it would have been nice to keep those. But I do have a funny one that I do regret. It's not a toy from my childhood. It is, as a married guy, when I was married to Cassie, it was a week before Michael Jackson died. She had this creepy Michael Jackson Barbie doll thing. It was from the Thriller, but it was the Beat It album, or from the Beat It video. So I go, why do you have this toy? She goes, I don't know. I don't want it. It's gross. Why would I? I don't want this stupid thing.
Well, then why do you have this voodoo doll in your house? I mean, come on.
It just keeps appearing.
So check it. So her mom gave her boxes and boxes of her Barbies as a kid, unopened. And one of them, and she wanted to sell the Barbies, but we had this Michael Jackson doll in there sealed. And she goes, I don't want this stupid thing. No one's going to buy it. Because, you know, at that time he was going through the petty thing and all that weird stuff. So it's not like you thought this thing was going to be worth any money. So we took it to Goodwill. He passes the next week, and we look on eBay, and that particular Beat It doll went for $2,500.
Wow.
We gave it to the Goodwill. Yeah, so if I had a regret on a toy that I can think of, it'd probably be the Michael Jackson Beat It video.
Now, did you scramble back to that Goodwill to see if it was still there?
Yeah. No way. It's gone, bro.
Oh, look, they're selling it for $10. Okay. But nobody has
the Goodwill, and whoever got it, huge score for them. But yeah, we basically threw $2,500 in the toilet. Yeah.
I bet you that's why somebody bought it.
It's probably one of the Goodwill workers, I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, you know, that's the answer to the Phoenix question, since I didn't get to, I wasn't a part of that segment. So I thought I'd share that with you fellas.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That was a great story, actually. So,
yeah.
That was a great yet sad story all at the same time.
Yeah.
The highs and lows, all in one paragraph. Yeah, that was great.
It was certainly a journey.
At the end of the day, is she was more mad because she's like, oh, my God, why did I do that? Like, I think she was more mad, but it's great, you know.
Yeah.
You live and you learn. Hang on to your stuff, kids. You never know what it's going to be worth. So.
All right. So, hey, did you catch the third season of The Witcher?
No, I haven't watched The Witcher yet. I need to. I haven't even finished Secret Invasion. I got
that one's
out
boring. Don't bother.
Yeah, I think everybody's having a hard time with that one. I mean,
they had to put it onto Hulu.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's so bad that I'm reading all this stuff, and it's like, oh, Rhodey's he's a Skrull.
Right.
And is the real Rhodey coming back? And I'm like, dude, I don't even need to watch this. It's stupid.
Well,
I've lost all
of course, the real Rhodey's coming back. They can't have Scrody doing the armor wars. I mean, come on.
Right? Yeah. No. Exactly.
Yeah. The real.
Will the real Scrody please stand up? Please stand up.
Oh man, that was good.
Oh wait, that's actually humorous on a number of points because Rhodey can't stand up because he got hurt during Civil War. So
yeah.
Wow.
Layers, ladies and gentlemen.
Layers. And
Layers.
Please direct all the hate mail to popculturekaboom@gmail.com.
Make sure you title the email correctly.
Yeah,
follow the simple instructions. People.
Simple instructions. All right, Tony, we got to take a break, and we got our special guest, Emily Skye-Golden from the Cordillera International Film Festival coming up next. So don't go anywhere. Mr. Sanfilippo, have a safe trip back home, and we will talk to you next week.
Thanks, fellas. Talk to you next week. Have a good one.
All right, we'll be back right after this, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. And if I can get my thing to work here, there it is. The Cordillera International Film Festival is coming this weekend, starting Thursday, July 27th through Monday the 31st, with 150 plus films, all-star panels, red carpet events, and parties, all happening right here in Northern Nevada at 7 locations. And here to tell us all about the excitement, glamour, and activities to satisfy even the most hardened cinephile, the co-founder and executive director of the Cordillera International Film Festival, Emily Skye-Golden. And how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Before we get into all of that, I just want to bring this up real quick. My show is becoming like, you ever hear that game 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon? It's become My show is now becoming 6 Degrees to Eric Roberts because
funny.
You're like the third or fourth person now that I've had on that have worked with him on a film, and I have yet to actually have him on my show.
Oh, funny. Yeah, I've brought him here, and so there's probably a lot of at least Nevada folks that worked on films that he was in, I would imagine here, but also other people you interview. He's a busy man.
Yes, he is, and in high demand with the film industry. He's a fantastic actor. So the Cordillera International Film Festival is coming up. Kicking off the Cordillera International Film Festival is the filmmaker welcome reception at 5:00 on Thursday.
Yes.
And then it goes straight from there into the opening night red carpet premiere. So this year, a big packed event. How is it as in comparison to last year? Are you guys seeing a bigger turnout for this year as far as sales?
So we tend to sell out every year. We've been very, very lucky with that, but the new exciting thing is that we're doing more and we're having bigger venues. So ticket sales are the same, but there's more overall because we're moving into bigger venues and we're spreading out. So we used to just be at the Galaxy Theater at Legends. Now we're at Galaxy Legends and the Galaxy at Victorian Avenue locations in Sparks. So we've spread our wings.
Yay! Wowzers. And a lot of good films coming to the Reno Sparks area with the Cordillera International Film Festival this time. And not that it's to say that there were bad films last time, but I mean, yeah. So as far as what's going on with the speed networking meet and greets with industry icons, that's going on Friday morning at an ungodly hour of 9 a.m. That is way too early for me. I got to tell you right now.
No.
I got to have so much coffee to attend anything like that and be semi-coherent. But stuff like that is geared towards helping out upcoming or people who are new to the film industry, which is kind of like a cornerstone of what the Cordillera International Film Festival does, right?
Yeah, it's a huge part is finding emerging voices, people that are establishing very early on in their careers that they have a really good voice in storytelling through film. And so we bring these iconic, incredible filmmakers, Oscar nominees, Oscar award-winning, Emmy award-winning talent, directors, writers, and we bring them to Reno, and then all of these emerging filmmakers this year we have, I think, 211 filmmakers from 83 countries around the world that were submitted attending. So it's huge. And we do these speed networking events so that they can sit in front of them. It's like speed dating, except no one's allowed to flirt-ish. But they get to sit in front of this icon, right, as a new filmmaker. Or, my goodness, just a film lover. You sit across from someone and you talk to them for 5 minutes, and then the bell rings, you stand up, you go move one seat over, and now you're talking to someone else incredible that you may or may not have a talent crush on or love their films and what they do or what they've written. So it's a pretty incredible experience of networking for locals that just love movies and want to sit in front of somebody, or fans that are trying to become filmmakers themselves. So it's a pretty exciting event. That's Friday morning. And the tickets to that, $15.
So if you're somebody who's like, gets starstruck, are you able to ask for autographs before you leave the table?
No, you're not allowed to pitch, ask for a business card, or ask for them to sign anything. Otherwise, it's a Comic-Con and it's $1,000 because you're meeting 70 amazing people, right?
Yeah,
it's a big different thing.
Yeah. Okay. There is something interesting going on as well. You guys, there is also going to be the, I'm skipping way ahead, Friday night, but the Cordillera International Film Festival Music Video Showcase Q&A and After Party that will be going on. And probably the biggest question I have about that is because their current song, Watch the World Burn, is all over the radio stations. And is Falling in Reverse going to be there?
We don't know. They haven't confirmed. They did not attend last year. We had a video from them before, but they're very supportive of Cordillera. Cordillera is very supportive of them. Our programmer saw them randomly back in the day, fell in love with their work, and has been in communication with them for quite some time, and the director of the videos. So we definitely love to support everything that they do. They've done very well and flourished, obviously, over the years.
Yeah, and like I said, their current single "Watch the World Burn" is getting lots of spins on various FM radio stations, even ours, I think. So
that's nice. That's awesome.
I think so, and so it'd be really cool to have them there, and and get to meet them and talk to them a little bit, and say play more shows in Reno.
We've definitely, because they're at least the director's Nevada based. Their music, as well as over the last couple of years, our music video program used to just be a few, like maybe 15 minutes long, and with no guests. And now we've had filmmakers that their music video premiered in Tribeca, and they come to play with us. We've had Grammy Award-winning musicians show up and do acoustic sets for us. So it's definitely become a pretty cool event for Cordillera. And it's right after Movies in the Park, so we do our Summer Shorts series, which, by the way, we're 4 for 4 with a film screening during Movies in the Park in July in Reno, going on to that specific program going on to get shortlisted, nominated, and or win an Oscar the following year. So it's a good block to come see short films and kind of see what independent Cordillera is about. And then afterwards, everyone just kind of walks over to the bar and watches the music videos and parties. So it's a long night. It doesn't even start. The music videos don't even start till 11:30.
Yeah, so and then you have to try and get up at 9 a.m. for the Industry Insiders panel. What is the Industry Insiders panel going to consist of?
So it gives insight to filmmakers and advice on how to find your path. So we have like Dawn Gilliam. Dawn Gilliam is Black Panther, Star Wars. Her very first movie was Boys in the Hood. She's been by J.J. Abrams' side with Lost and just so many amazing projects. Also Oscar films like Fences, Creed. I mean, she's incredible. She'll be on that panel. Bilali Mack from The Whale, just off of an Oscar winning. We've got an actress that'll be on. Her name is Sophia Sanchez. She's starring in the new. She's a co-star in the new Hunger Games movie coming out in November. So a really exciting panel. Bill Farmer himself, voice of Goofy, will be talking about voiceover. So if you're someone who's just wanting to stick your toe into the industry, you can kind of learn from some of the biggest success stories within their given fields, and get advice on finding your voice, finding your path in Hollywood.
And I couldn't find panel number 2, though. So panel number 1 was the speed networking, and panel number 3 was the Industry Insiders. But what was panel 2?
So panel two, we pivoted. So we're going to be we are actually going to be changing those numbers because we just made the decision today. Panel number 2 is going to be a SAG focused, and because of the SAG strike, we're pivoting to make sure that we stand in solidarity with the current union strikes. So we're still pivoting. It'll be a surprise.
Oh, okay. And then Sunday morning at 9 a.m. is the Cordillera International Festival Pitch Fest 2023. And Pitch Fest is actually a really awesome program. I encourage anybody who has a film idea that this is definitely something that you want to participate in, especially at the Cordillera International Film Festival. But for those who don't know, Emily?
Sure. Pitch Fest is an amazing opportunity for somebody who has anything from just an idea at its spark to a full-fledged person with a pitch deck, a sizzle reel, a full screenplay. And what you do is you get the opportunity to be in front of our panelists. This year, I think it's almost $175,000 Pitch Fest production package, and you're pitching in front of people who can make your movie if you win. It doesn't mean they will, but they can give you advice. You have 3 minutes to sell your story to them, get them excited about it, and then they have 3 minutes to then give you feedback so you can kind of learn, get suggestions. It's pretty powerful and impactful and empowering to hear from these legends on what they liked, what they think you can improve on. If you consider the tens of thousands of dollars people spend putting together opportunities to have a 1-minute elevator pitch with these individuals, and you've got multiple amazing humans sitting in front of you for this chance. And the coolest thing about Pitch Fest is that we do a wild card drawing where anywhere from 1 to 5 people, depending on how much time we have, from the audience will pick a raffle. If you've submitted your name and you want a chance, you can literally be drawn and given a chance and an opportunity of a lifetime to pitch for these folks. It's pretty amazing.
Eric from Whittier, California says, "If sounds like I could finish my indie film."
Yeah, it's pretty incredible package.
So there's that. Also, an interesting thing, and you were looking for actors and actresses to help out with this, is the screenplay finalist table readings.
Yes, this is so cool. So this year we had 30 finalists, and we have 20 screenplay finalists and 10 short film screenplays. And the screenplay writers that attend the festival in person get to select a 5-minute scene from their film, and we use community talent to do a table reading of it and bring their script to life. It's a pretty amazing opportunity.
And some interesting scripts too, because I was perusing them, and an interesting mix of films too. Everything from horror to dramas are represented here with a lot of these. Some of the names I can't say on FCC regulated radio, but
sure, yes. Well, I know exactly which one you're talking about too. Yeah, it's a really eclectic mix. We don't judge people for their titles, but we've had over 4,000 submissions in consideration this year.
Wow!
Yeah, from 83 countries. So if your film gets in, the best thing I can say is 4,000. And we program 8 dramatic short films, 8 comedic short films, 8 feature films, and we build blocks around them. So I think you definitely have less than a 5% chance of getting into the film festival. So the ones that make it are just world-class, incredible projects.
And then, of course, Sunday night after the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show is over with, is all of the awards will be handed out, as well as Your Vote, Your Winner at 9 p.m. with a closing night party at 9:30 p.m.
Yes. So I want to clarify, the actual award ceremony is Saturday evening. Sunday is just the Audience Choice and Pitch Fest winners. So Sunday you go to see what the audience loved, and Saturday you go to see the actual jury, grand jury, prizes, and all the cash and all of that stuff. So that's a very formal, bougie, fun, you put on your gown and your tux night. And whereas Sunday night is a really fun, fast-paced Audience Choice. We announce our Pitch Fest winner, and then it's a pizza party and a trampoline jumping at Defy Trampoline Park. So it's a super fun, casual event.
So that concludes 4 days of the Cordillera International Film Festival. What about day 5?
So day 5 is actually not film. We don't screen any films or have any panels on day 5. It's a very exclusive event that is sponsored by the Film Nevada Initiative, and this year our partners are South Lake Tahoe and South Lake Tahoe Tourism and Visitors Authority, as well as Heavenly Resort and Edgewood, and we take 100 of our filmmakers, studio decision makers, VIPs, and celebrities, and we tour them. We give them a tour of the region in hopes of inspiring them to come back and film here. And so far, it's been a really good success. So I hope this year continues that trend for us.
Yeah, I don't know how many directors I've had on my show where I've brought that up to them, that this area, you're 30 minutes away from any kind of shooting location you pretty much want. You can go up to Tahoe and get the wilderness, and the Sierra Nevadas. You got Reno if you need any kind of cityscape or dystopian-looking futuristic or, rundown futuristic filming. We got ghost towns if you want to do westerns. You got everything here. So literally for open air shooting locations. So.
Oh, it's incredible. And then we also are building a really impressive crew base. We have one company, everything I know is NDA'd, unfortunately, but we do have talks of studios coming here. We have 5 feature films coming starting in August, and we have one that literally shut down the streets today, filming. A feature film shut down downtown, which is not a feature film, sorry, it's a series, but it's the single highest budget thing to ever come to Reno, and I cannot wait until I talk about it. Ah!
Darn NDAs. Yeah.
Darn NDAs.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun with the Cordillera International Film Festival. I have like a ton of info that I was wanting to talk about, but I know you're not feeling well this evening.
Thank you so much, and I'm so sorry.
Oh, no apologies. I just want you to get better because you got a huge week coming up. So
yes.
Take lots of NyQuil, get plenty of rest, and drink your fluids. And I will see you Thursday night.
Awesome. We'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
All right, you take care. And for everybody else, we'll be back with more Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please call us 775-515-4141 from anywhere in the world. And we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. If you'd like to find out more information, if you'd like to submit for next year for the Cordillera International Film Festival, go to their website, ciffnv.org. And developer Iguana Bee Studios and publisher Game Mill Entertainment announced their latest game, Skull Island Rise of Kong, which is coming later this year. The game will be taking on the history of the island, which was developed by creator Joe DeVito and based on Marion C. Cooper's King Kong. The third-person action-adventure game will have you take on the role of Kong himself as you will take on various predators on your home island in a quest for vengeance and to assume your rightful claim as King of Skull Island. We don't have release date yet, but we do have the latest trailer for you to watch as the game will be released for PC and all three major consoles. Until then, here's the official synopsis. Take on an action-packed quest to avenge the death of Kong's parents at the hands of the ultimate alpha predator, the Syrian terror Gaw. Gaw. Serious, it's G-A-W. Gaw. Gaw. Traverse the mysterious island and uncover its secrets across a variety of treacherous environments, discovering the power coursing through its exotic flora and fauna, conquer waves of primal beasts, defeat unique bosses, and rise above all who stand in Kong's way of being king. Start your journey as the orphaned Kong and experience his evolution to the King of Skull Island as you hunt for revenge against Gaw.
Sounds kind of like Maneater, where you kind of go where you start as a little shark and you're avenging the death of your parents.
As a little shark.
Yeah, you start as a little shark and you go around eating things, and you become bigger and bigger and bigger shark, and you evolve. And you gain special fins, teeth, and all that fun stuff. So it sounds like that's what they're kind of doing with Kong. You start out as a little monkey, little ape, and you become a bigger ape. Maybe you even find a kryptonite axe. And you just keep finding things that make you bigger and better until you can be king and beat Gaw.
Gaw. Gaw. Gaw. So yeah, unleash the fury of Kong, deal devastating combos to dominate Gaw's ferocious minions, and unleash your rage to heighten the impact of your attacks.
There's got to be at least one T-Rex you can kill by dislocating its jaw.
Oh yeah, just rip that sucker right out. Send even the most gargantuan of enemies fleeing with your earth-shattering roar and brutal finishing attacks. Okay.
So Gaw is the female leader of the fictional dinosaur race called the Death Runners on Skull Island.
Death Runners?
Yep.
They aren't even real dinosaurs?
Yep. They appeared in the 2005 novel Kong, King of Skull Island, and Kong of Skull Island comic book series.
Oh.
They aren't even T-Rexes?
No.
Blasphemy.
They're not even real T-Rexes. They're just fake T-Rexes. Anyway, yeah, I'm not a King Kong fan, so I didn't pick up the King Kong
I am
comic
not
book.
that into the lore on Skull Island. I'm amazed.
Nice.
I just thought there were like giant ants and stuff.
See, all I remember from that movie was him eating an octopus or a squid or whatever that was in a shallow lagoon, which would never happen. And also, unless it was the thing that lies beneath, that from the when they're sitting there trying Lord of the Rings trying to get into.
And it comes out
below or whatever.
Yeah, when they figure out that melon is the password to get into the Mines of Moria.
No, speak friend and enter.
Yeah, melon.
Oh, melon.
Melon.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was about to say melon. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, it's melon. Just
cantaloupe?
You just got to put the emphasis on the right syllable.
Electronic Arts and Respawn Entertainment have launched a new event into Apex Legends as the Neon Network Collection event has begun. This is basically a very flashy event for you to jump into that will last through July 25th. Okay, so 2 more days. All the way to August 8th. Oh, so it starts on August 25th. Okay. You will be tasked with collecting nodes to unlock a variety of limited-time cosmetics. After limited-time cosmetics, does that mean that you'll only have them for a limited time, or they're only available?
They're only available for a limited time. They kind of show, I was there.
Yeah.
Until they sell them for,
Whatever
in-game currency later.
Yeah.
Right. Or give them away for free when the game dies.
Yeah. As well as having your progress through new storyline elements for a few different characters. After biding her time, Loba's hunt continues. Become the wolf and enter her story yourself as you breach a facility that may have started the interruption of her childhood with shady plot abound.
Yeah, there's some grammar error there.
There's something not right about that. All right, was that written by AI or what? You'll walk through an interactive introduction before entering the Battle Royal with a twist from July 21st through August 8th. Use a node tracker in non-ranked Battle Royal matches to locate the optimal location to connect and hack into leads across the map to receive loot and compute nodes. Be quick, the battle won't pause for you to complete the hack. Compute nodes will be awarded post-match for you to use in the new event shop. Yay, more ways to spend your money on microtransactions.
That's the day. That's the way it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it is.
Ginvid Entertainment has partnered with DC Comics and Warner Bros. Games to announce a new game at San Diego Comic-Con called DC Heroes United. This is a brand new interactive streaming series brought to you by the same studio that created The Walking Dead Last Mile. Only this particular series will allow fans to determine what kind of heroes or villains iconic characters from the DC universe will become. You will have the ability to determine how Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman work together, as well as whether they succeed or fail, all of which helps build towards the eventual creation of the Justice League. The entire canonical story of DC... I'm so glad I'm not doing cons and events. Story of DC Heroes United is up to the audience to decide, with those choices having an impact on DC canon. No dates were given for the launch of this series, nor was it made clear if it would be tied to Facebook like The Walking Dead was previously. When the story of Earth 212 begins, our favorite superheroes and supervillains remain in the shadows, largely unknown to one another and mostly serving as legend and rumor to civilians. I think if somebody was walking around being a superhero, everybody would know about it.
Yeah, Superman is not exactly sneaky.
No. Well, he can be. He's super fast, but still.
But that big red and blue. I mean, it's kind of hard to.
If you get a cat out of a tree, it will be on the news.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you. Viewers will decide whether the Dark Knight and the Man of Steel will work together, whether they can trust one another, and how much. How Batman responds to Wonder Woman, brown chicken, brown cow, and Superman fighting crime in Gotham City. Whether Lex Luthor gives into his darker desires, another brown chicken, brown cow, and ultimately, who fights for good, evil, or themselves, and why. A story whose decisions become immutably a DC multiverse canon. DC Heroes United will feature a plethora of DC comic superheroes and supervillains beyond the Trinity. Ginvid also teamed up with the renowned artist Terry Dodson to bring this epic original origin story to life.
Oh, really? I love Dodson's work. He's a really good artist.
Yes, I don't know how you're going to affect DC canon with a game
multiverse.
Like
it's a different universe.
But still, how are you going to affect DC multiverse canon? Because to make it multiverse canon, that means it has to be incorporated into both film and comic book form.
Well, when multiverse is acknowledged, they can just say, "Hey, it was what 212."
This went down into 212.
Yeah. So, So it'll have its own continuity, but they can basically access it in movies or comics if they wish.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about this last week Rob brought this up. TV Line reports that Ms. Marvel, which previously debuted on Disney Plus last summer, is coming to ABC in August. All 6 episodes of the Marvel Studios series will be presented, marking the first time one of Marvel's shows that previously debuted on Disney Plus will be aired on broadcast television. The first 3 episodes, wow, they're really going for it, will air on Saturday, August 5th, 2023 from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Pacific Time. The second half of the season 1 will follow by airing the next week on Saturday, August 12th, from again in a block from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time, Pacific Time. The TV Line article speculates that this could be the first of many streaming titles to be aired on television in the coming months as a direct result of the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes. With the strikes affecting various productions, networks may be looking to help fill some airtime in the fall for shows where they'll be missing content. I can make a couple of show suggestions, actually. I guess you could create a Flashpoint event and rewrite the 212 universe that way. That would be interesting.
You could.
That would be interesting, Eric. Where was I? Fall for shows that where they'll be missing content. Meanwhile, that it actually is phrased that way.
Meanwhile,
It sounds like a song. Marvel is delving into broadcast TV with its Disney Plus content for the first time with Ms. Marvel.
Okay, I got it.
Didn't they do The Mandalorian already?
No, The Mandalorian, Star Wars, but they had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was actually a Marvel show on network television. Them saying first.
No. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did not premiere on Disney Plus.
No, but it was a show on network television.
That's what they're referring to, is a show that originally appeared on Disney Plus is now appearing on broadcast television.
Yeah.
That's what the first is.
Yes, delving into broadcast TV with its Disney Plus content for the first time.
Okay.
But I thought The Mandalorian was already on.
No, they put that on Hulu. Which is what they did with Secret Invasion. I think because the content's a little bit more. They probably would have to edit some things out.
I was right. It's worth noting that ABC previously aired the pilot episode of The Mandalorian. Boom.
Okay. But not the whole series.
Up. No, not the whole series.
Yeah.
Just the pilot episode. That's what I thought, too. I'm like, didn't they show The Mandalorian? And they did. I was right. Kind of. CBS has also aired episodes of Paramount Plus shows like Star Trek Discovery. It's called STD for a reason. While NBC has brought Peacock's The Resort to broadcast TV. I don't even know what that is.
It's another reality show we can totally skip.
Skip? Okay.
Yeah, just put it in there with the mysteries and thrillers section of the movie to look for.
Okay. There have been rumors and reports of Ms. Marvel getting a second season. However, as of now, season 2 hasn't been officially greenlit at Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't think they can greenlight anything right now.
No. Well, they can. They just can't do it. Move them.
They can't really cast anything.
Yeah, they can't make a move on it. With that said, there's still more to come from Eamon Vellani as Ms. Marvel in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She will reprise her Ms. Marvel role on the big screen. Actually, that is probably one of the funniest scenes I've seen out of a Marvel movie yet.
What's that?
Where she's something happens, she teleports because their powers are all linked.
Yeah,
and
anytime they use them, they teleport.
She goes, I can show you. And they're like, no. But she doesn't. And then all of a sudden she's just falling through the sky.
Or no, not that one. The scene where she teleports onto a ship and she's next to the Firkin.
Oh, yeah. And she sees
and tentacles and it eats those guys. Oh my God! That was the funniest thing yet, because that is an actual reaction that somebody would have to a cat with tentacles coming out of its mouth,
and
like
then
Cthulhu.
Eats the person.
Eating two people. Yeah, so that was funny.
And that is one thing about this actress. This character, Ms. Marvel. she started as a fangirl, and this actress does a really good job in doing the fangirling thing, and having the very realistic reaction of watching an alien cat eat people.
Yeah, I mean that has got to be the best scene ever out of a Marvel movie to me so far that I've seen in a trailer. Anyway,
it looks intriguing. The Ms. Marvel,
it kind of does, but I don't know what they're going for here.
Well,
I mean, the villain is like Ms. Marvel, destroyer of the universe, or something like that. Or,
but and the thing that
like, who is this character? I don't even know who this is.
Yeah, and they changed how Ms. Marvel's powers work from the comics.
Oh yeah,
they did.
Oh heck, yeah,
but that's because there's rumors that they're going to be bringing in
Mr. Fantastic, and her powers were too closely similar to that.
Yes.
So,
but it goes with the whole fact that they are changing her, and she's now going to be a mutant.
Yeah.
Instead of inhuman, which is what she is.
Currently,
yeah.
Well, and in the MCU, if you watch, because
the MCU
when you watch, she's plays
mutant,
into her being her Kree.
Well, she's a mutant in MCU.
Well, she's
they don't really have mutants yet. Yeah.
Well, that's where that's where they're going.
That's where they're going. Yeah,
she's supposed to be the first introduction of the mutants in the MCU.
You know which one I didn't get, because the whole reason why, because she didn't like. Because the whole they're really changing mutants then, because the whole point of the mutants is once you hit adolescence, that's when your mutant gene kind of triggers because of adolescence. With her, it was because she put a bracelet on, and it was triggered by her Kree lineage, because she's part Kree or something like that, and that's why it activated. So I'm not getting the whole mutant thing. If you're going to go off of the actual term,
I think that's what we're going to find out in the Marvels.
Okay, well, that's something to look forward to.
Well, it's something to look to.
Because I do know
about forward to.
I do know, like the comic book that's coming out with her being Marvel. The actress is actually co-writing it too.
Okay.
Yeah, and so of course, and this will be Ms. Marvel's big debut after being dead for about 2 months,
something like that. Yeah.
She will reprise her Ms. Marvel role on the big screen for the upcoming film The Marvels, hitting theaters on November 10th, 2023. In the meantime, Ms. Marvel directors, I'm not going to try and pronounce these names, are keeping their fingers crossed to return for a second season of Ms. Marvel. Next. Okay. Why did I gotta do this one next? Adult Swim is currently in production with acclaimed director Shinichiro Watanabe, who has done.
I'm very impressed, by the way.
Cowboy Bebop.
I'm impressed. You got it right.
Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Kids on the Slope, on the new Toonami original anime series Lazarus. Lazarus, not Lazarus. Which we will talk about when we get back from this break. So don't go anywhere. More Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show right after this. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Kaboom Radio Show. Everything you want, everything you need in pop culture entertainment. I just realized that whales is one of those words that are spelled 3 different ways and have 3 different meanings, but sound the same.
Indeed.
Wales, W-A-L-E-S, which is a place in England.
Right.
Wales, W-A-I-L, which means you're wailing on somebody. Right. And W-H-A-L-E, the largest mammal in the ocean. Whales, all of them. All right, so we were talking about Adult Swim in production with director Shinichiro Watanabe on the new Toonami original anime series Lazarus. The sci-fi action thriller will be produced by anime studio Mappa and feature action sequences designed by Chad Stahelski, who did the John Wick film series franchise. In addition, the anime will also feature a score by a collection of renowned jazz and electronic artists, including jazz saxophonist Kamasi Washington, West Coast Get Down, producer, DJ, and musician Floating Points from the Floating Points Ensemble, and producer, DJ, and musician Bonobo. Oh, there we go. Here's a look at the official overview that was released. The year is 2052. Oh, wait, got to do more like the...
The year is 2052.
An era of unprecedented peace and prosperity prevails across the globe. End of story. No, I'm kidding. The reason for this, mankind has been freed from sickness and pain. Nobel Prize-winning neuroscientist Dr. Skinner never trust a doctor named Skinner, has developed a miracle cure-all drug with no apparent drawbacks called Hapuna. Hapuna soon becomes, a word that I can't pronounce, and essential.
Sorry, I got to see what word it is. Ubiquitous.
Okay. Never saw that word spelled before. However, soon after Hapuna is officially introduced, Dr. Skinner vanishes. 3 years later, the world has moved on, but Dr. Skinner has returned, this time as a harbinger of doom.
Doom.
See, that's why you never trust a doctor named Skinner.
Yeah, his name wasn't a forbearing at all.
No, not at all. Skinner announces that Hapuna has a short half-life. Everyone who has taken it will die approximately 3 years later. So 3 years after, that means everybody's dying right then and there. I mean, come on. Death is coming for this sinful world, and coming soon. As a response to this threat, a special task force of 5 agents is gathered from across the world to save. Well, if it was to save the entire world, I think you would gather more than 5 people.
Well, and what are agents going to do?
Depends on what those 5 people are bringing. I mean,
I'm gonna
you may only need those 5.
I'm going to shoot this virus with this 45 cal.
Good point. Okay, touche. To save humanity from Skinner's plan. Well, was this his plan? I mean, really? Because it says from Skinner's plan, but was it his plan? I mean, he came back 3 years later to tell everybody that it only has a half-life.
Well, in Bleach, there was this bad guy that basically everything that happened, they always go, "Oh, it was according to his plan. Oh, it was according to his plan," no matter how random it was. So maybe he's just coming back, "Oh, well, gee, I screwed up, but I don't want people to know I screw up. It was all part of my plan."
that or when he said, "What's your 5-year plan?" He took it literally.
3-year
plan.
Yeah. And if that's the half-life, that means that it's only 6 years, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Or
what the
a year
heck?
and a half.
What the heck? I mean, so they should have known that, like, in 6 years, everybody was going to die.
You'd think. But
Okay, this is just getting goofier.
This is what happens when
when
something has no...
rationalize it. This
is what happens when things have no drawbacks. It's too good to be true.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Skinner's plan. This group is called Lazarus. Can they find Skinner and develop a vaccine before time runs out? I don't really care anymore, quite honestly. I thought I did, but now I don't.
Well, it sounds like the concept of Threshold, where they were trying to figure out how aliens were invading and stuff. But Threshold sounds far more interesting.
A lot of things sound far more
Well, it had Brent
interesting.
Spiner being ultra snarky, so, that was always a big plus for me.
Academy Award-winning writer and director Kenneth Branagh. Branagh?
Branagh,
I was right, okay. Who was the first film director to bring Thor into the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2011's Thor, is reportedly going to be adapting a classic 1994-97 cartoon series.
Yep, I know. I heard this.
Gargoyles.
Yep.
About
Great
a
show.
clan of gargoyles transported from Scotland to New York City, into a live-action film. That's where I kind of drawing the line.
Yeah,
That's where it loses me.
because
there.
the gargoyles are going to be CG. I hope they figure out some way to do them like with the hand and where they can do them practically. Maybe just augment like the wings with CG or something. But
I think they're going to have to do something because I mean, if they're going especially off of like the cartoon series, there's a lot of interaction with them and humans.
Yeah, and I don't want it to do
that's going to be huge CGI budget. They would have to do practical effects.
Yeah, I don't want them to do like Beauty and the Beast.
CGI budget. Have you seen Transformers?
yeah, but I've also seen the live action Beauty and the Beast. It was like they told the actor, every time you move, it's $10,000. So move as little as possible.
I don't know. I bag on Disney about this. I'm going to bag on about this too. It should not. You don't take a cartoon and make it live action. That's all you have. Just make an original story based off of the characters that move the franchise forward.
Yeah,
I don't know why that is so hard to compute.
You could, especially if they're trying to reboot Gargoyles.
Yeah.
They could totally there's so much they could do with end up making like a reboot of that series.
Oh, easily, yeah. And still be able to use a lot of the original voice actors as even as live actors. Because Jonathan Frakes was the villain in that. I loved him in that. And then Marina Sirtis was Demona. Mm-hmm. They had a lot of great actors that I love in that show. And then, of course, the voice of Goliath.
Keith David.
Yeah. Keith David is iconic in and of his own right.
So this just has to not be. I'm sorry. That's just.
Well, I just know they're going to need to get Keith David for the voice of Goliath. Otherwise, the rest will just fall apart.
Yeah. So the original series was primarily written by Greg Weisman, Michael Reeves, and Byron Chandler Reeves. The news was reported by Branagh's hometown newspaper, the Belfast Telegraph. And even while the Gargoyles animated series was still on the air, its acclaimed blend of action and drama, especially its ability to push the boundaries of what was acceptable for children's animation, included its award-winning episode about gun violence, a truly shocking subject for a kids' show of the era, made it an appealing project for a live-action adaptation, and Disney began attempting to do a live-action film based on the series as early as 1995. The earliest attempts were quite dark, and after a revised draft that was even darker, the project went into limbo. It was brought back into development in 2010 when X-Men movie producer Lauren Schuler Donner and Wolverine and the X-Men writer Zoe Green began working on a film treatment. This version, though, was barely based on the original series at all, and instead used the series as a sort of springboard, like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Most recently, in 2019, writer-director Jordan Peele expressed interest in doing a live-action version of the property. That would have actually been interesting. But that deal never came together. Gargoyles creator Greg Weisman responded to queries about the film on Twitter, where he stated, "I'm thinking that's a flat out not true." So who knows if it is actually something that
with the strike going on, who knows if everybody's in the loop of everything.
That is true.
And who knows if it'll stay now too.
Think about it. There was all these projects started back in ~95, so it could be he's wanting to do the project doesn't mean it's going to actually come to fruition.
Yeah, and then anybody who's made a deal pre-strike, it could fall through after strike.
So I was not happy about that story at all, because it's taking a beloved cartoon and turning it into live action for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Except money. Disney likes money. And they need to actually make some of it, because a lot of their stuff's been tanking lately.
And now that I've covered that, now let me cover another thing that I don't like talking about, a remake/reboot. One of the greatest horror comedies of all time, Dan O'Bannon's 1985 movie, The Return of the Living Dead, ended up launching a franchise that to date includes 5 total movies, but you mostly only hear fans talking about the first 3, kind of like Star Wars. The first sequel came back in 1988 and featured returning actors, but 1993's Brian Kuzana directed Return of the Living Dead 3 went into an entirely different direction with a wildly different storyline. It's become a cult classic in recent years, thanks in large part to its central villain, a sexy zombie played by Melinda Clarke. And then we got Return of the Living Dead, Necropolis, and Return of the Living Dead, Rave to the Grave. Both released direct-to-TV in 2005. Why don't horror fans talk about them? Because they're touch browns. Well, they took the franchise down a not quite desirable path. The 2 films cheaply made and shot at the same time, and that was the end of the franchise for almost 20 years. But the dead are never truly dead. If George A. Romero and Dan Bannon taught us anything, and it looks like Return of the Living Dead reboot is shambling to life this year.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how Return of the Living Dead is a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, and then you have George Romero who did Dawn of the Dead, and all those, and you have these ones that kind of went off in their own little separate branch. It's kind of interesting how copyright laws made that possible.
Yeah. The company, the Living Dead Media, is behind the planned upcoming reboot, which has Steve Walsh attached to direct. According to the company's official website, the next installment in the Return of the Living Dead franchise will reboot rather than remake. Living Dead Media previews, and a quote, "Our reboot of Return of the Living Dead will expand the existing world created by the original 5 films, while staying true to the R-rated sci-fi horror dark comedy roots adorned by fans of the cult classic around the world for the last 35 years. The company also noted on their official website, "We are excited to resurrect this storied franchise for current fans and new generations of zombie fans."
Yeah, and actually it's Return of the Living Dead that started the whole brains thing, because Night of the Living Dead,
they never said brains. They ate everything.
They ate everything. They didn't just eat brains.
Like a buffet. It's been a while since we've heard a peep about Eli Roth's Borderlands movie, an adaptation of the popular video game, but we finally have a release date out of Comic-Con. Lionsgate will be releasing Borderlands on August 9th, 2024.
Does that mean it's been filmed?
Yep. In the movie, Lilith, played by Cate Blanchett, an infamous outlaw with a mysterious past, because isn't that the way it always is, forms an alliance with an unexpected team. And I got to cut it short there because we are out of show, unfortunately. So with that being said, everybody, thank you all for tuning in tonight, no matter where you are listening. We genuinely appreciate your being here. We hope you enjoyed the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. A big thank you to our guests, Brandon Boykins of Boykins Cosplay and the president of Cosplay for Kindness. Don't forget to go and attend their event on Saturday, July 29th at the Coffee and Comics in Sparks, Nevada. And also a big thank you to Emily Skye-Golden, the co-founder and executive director of the Cordillera International Film Festival, which is going on this week, starting Thursday, July 27th through Monday, July 31st. Tickets are still available at CIFFNV. We lost the music.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. CINV.org if you want to go and check that out. And I encourage you to. We will be there, hopefully. Next week, Sunday, July 30th, is an evening of fantasy and horror on the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show. Our special guest will be the fantasy writing duo Susan and John Ruff. We'll be talking with Susan and John Ruff about their novel, The 60th Hour, and the Doorway to Magic trilogy, and when you can expect the third and final installment. We also will be speaking with actor, producer, director Nathan Faudree about his latest film, 17 years into making, the horror film Site 13. We'll be talking with Nathan Faudree about the process of making the award-winning film and what projects he has coming up in the near future. Please continue supporting the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show by listening every week to the Pop Culture Kaboom radio show on KNBC 95.1 FM. If you missed any part of tonight's show, you can find it archived at KNBC 95.1 FM's website, knbc.org, or you can subscribe to the brand new Pop Culture Kaboom radio show podcast produced by 97 to Now Productions, and not only get tonight's episode, but also previous episodes and some bonus material that'll be coming up as well. Also, check out the Pop Culture Kaboom on Facebook for everything you want, everything you need from Pop Culture Entertainment Daily. And one final request, subscribe to the Pop Culture Kaboom YouTube channel for video interviews from events we have and will be attending. The first video will be up very, very soon, so please go check that out. On behalf of our guest, Cosplay for Kindness co-founder and president Brandon Boykins, and Cordillera International Film Festival Emily Skye-Golden, Tony Sanfilippo, Filippo's Horrible Reviews, KNBC 95.1 FM, Spencer, Rob, and I. Thank you for your continued support. Have a great week. Hopefully we will see you at one of this weekend's upcoming events in the Reno area. If not, we will talk with you right here again next week live, Sunday, 6 to 9 p.m. Until then, be safe, stay healthy, and peace out, Wabbits.